starting to slow. May the water be safe as I dive in. Bloodstains washing underneath the waves. A beat reaching out will keep you safe. As we fall, I can't hold on much longer. We're drifting down to the other side. Got to pull us under. Keep holding out for the other side. Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I go? Where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As we fall, I can't hold on much longer. We're drifting down to the other side. Try to pull us under. Keep holding out for the other side. Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment, now is your time. So prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up. Reach for the summit. Visions brave, the one false, steadily the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Get it on, go.
day to dark dust turn. One simple truth she dare not speak. Her light can only blind and burn. No mercy for the guilty.
everybody. It's VCS English. It's Series 2 on Saturday night. It's Flash taking on 𝘀𝑠BTC. 𝘀𝑠BTC suffered a big loss yesterday. Can Flash make it too? The VCS English analyst desk is here to tell you why or why not. It's 𝘁𝘁 and Yulwei. Marby, what's some of your initial expectations from this series?
So Flash has been on a little bit of an upswing. Haven't exactly won any series, but they picked up a game against 𝘀𝗀, which is a really good start. And yeah, just in general, they put 𝘁𝗀𝗀 back in, and overall the team is looking a lot more coherent, and they are playing at a much higher level than they were at the start of the split. So is that enough to take down 𝘀𝑠BTC? I don't know, because 𝘀𝑠BTC are just a coin flip, whether they are good or bad.
Oh yeah. Yesterday they lost against BTS, which is something no one expected, I'd say. And generally, in the last few weeks, Flash is probably a better team than BTS. But on the other side, 𝘀𝑠BTC, as Marby just pointed out, you can't just go, okay, they lost against BTS, so they're going to lose against Flash. Nah. This team is absolutely unpredictable. No one knows what form they're going to show up in. Actually thought 𝘀𝗀 yesterday looked a little bit better than before. He got MVP for one game, if I remember correctly, too. But then they still lost the series. So, yeah, no idea where to go with this team. Honestly, with both teams. I'm just happy that Flash is finally looking like a team again.
Yeah, that is very good to see. But we still, I think, all do back 𝘀𝑠BTC in this one if we bring up their predictions, as I think did they extend their timer
by 1 minute or something? Possibly.
I think
yeah.
so, but it's all right. We can deal with that. That's no problem. We can bring up our predictions, and how have we all got this one? I think we all backed the chickens.
Yeah, I was very close to actually switching to the other orange team, because I really don't know what's going to happen here. I think Flash is better than their record shows right now as well. But on the other side, the last time these two teams played against each other, we had a very special support picks. Maybe we're going to get that one again.
I hope not.
Don't think we're going to again.
To be
Just
clear,
a hunch.
We have since had it confirmed that was actually a misclick.
Oh, really?
They were forced to stick with it for some reason. I'm not sure. The referees would have to tell you. But
instead of top.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pretend to understand everything that goes on in the Flash team, but apparently they did not actually want to play 𝘀𝗀 support. They had to play 𝘀𝗀 support.
I'm not sure if I really buy that from Palat, but well, fair enough.
Anyway, I don't think that's going to happen again. Flash had definitely been on the uptick. I said 2-0 for 𝘀𝑠BTC. I actually put those in before the games yesterday. I probably would have changed it to 2-1 after they lost to BTS. That was an abysmal series out of 𝘀𝑠BTC. Probably the worst performance we've seen from them. I don't think they'll be that bad today, but you can play a lot better than that and still lose, because that was really terrible. I still would have picked 𝘀𝑠BTC to win. I probably would have picked them to win still, but 2-1.
Yeah, it mostly just comes down to the fact that 𝘀𝑠BTC still have insane players and can always outmuscle you if they choose to. They got out team fought a bit by BTS, which doesn't sound good, but BTS, ever since they came in as %, have always been good team fighters.
They're a good team fighters, yeah, for sure.
I can't hold that too much against 𝘀𝑠BTC, but they should come in with a very strong landing phase and should be able to carry that through to victories.
A lot of should.
But I mean, it's the should big time chicken.
True.
Because they should do a lot more chickening. But I'm running
I think in this matchup, I'm mostly looking at mid and jungle here. Especially interesting always to see former Flash players play against Flash, of course, with Yijin. Yijin against 𝘁𝗀. Flash players should know how he's moving around the map, where he wants to go, and so on. So I would like to see them maybe attack the jungle pool. Dia against 𝘁𝗀𝗀 should be very Dia favored, but the last few weeks, 𝘁𝗀𝗀, or last week especially, 𝘁𝗀𝗀 actually looked quite decent. So yeah, I think mid jungle is going to decide a lot today, because we know Yoshino against 𝘀𝗀, they are very even most of the time in top lane. And the bot lane, I mean, Celebrity should definitely have the advantage over 𝘀𝗀kid. But last week we saw revitalized 𝘀𝗀kid as well. So yeah, I feel like 𝘀𝗀 is getting better at the right time. Maybe a little late, but at least in the right time to stay in the league and to hold on to their spot. And a win today would not only be great for them to tie the second to last team GLX, but also be super good for all the top teams, especially Cerberus, who have a very hard match ahead of them tomorrow after winning yesterday. This would give Cerberus kind of the wiggle room to maybe lose tomorrow against 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹𝘀 as well, because that's a super hard match coming up.
It really is. This is it's interesting from both perspectives. If SBTC loses, it is a huge punch in the gut to their playoff run, and if 𝘀ash is to win, it makes the race for 6th very, very interesting. And you might say, well, why is that ever interesting? Well, it's because the VCS still has relegations. 7 and 8 might not be in the league next split. It's a bit of a disaster if your org isn't allowed in the league. So pretty big
especially
deal to get
as the back-to-back champion from 2020. That's the most disastrous thing ever. We've only seen this, I think, twice in the history of 𝘁𝗀que, where a team came from the highest highs and dropped to the relegations before. I believe Origin managed that once, even though they didn't even win the split. So
World semi-finals to relegations speedrun.
Indeed. So 𝘀ash does not want to repeat this, how to call it, this coveted achievement. Yeah, not really.
Exclusive achievement, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think there's too much to be said about how does SBTC beat 𝘀ash, because the answer is they play well. They're just better players. They should beat them if they play at their level. Not even if they play above their level. Just if they play at their level, they should run 𝘀ash over. The issue with SBTC is they often don't play at their level. So let's talk about the opposite. Let's talk about how 𝘀ash beats SBTC. And Marby, I'll let you start. What's one role you think 𝘀ash could get over on SBTC?
Jungle. That would be my main focus in terms of how you get over the top, because 𝘁𝗀𝗋 has been one of the better players for 𝘀ash, and as we know from last year, he can be a super powerful carry. Jungle is, of course, very strong position right now, and Yijin is very hit or miss. He likes a very select number of champions, things that run at you at high speeds. So if you maybe pinch that jungle pool and then leave it so Lilia is left to 𝘁𝗀𝗋, or maybe hit that jungle pool really, really hard and mean there's nothing left, banning even Skarner and stuff, then maybe you have a way to overcome them and put Legion in a position where he's just not effective on the map. Thus the lanes don't get snowballing ahead of you. And really, I think other than, with the way Div mid lane has been playing, Dia1 in particular, I think the lanes match up, in theory, very even on a player level. It's all really down to matchups.
So I have the 5-head plan for today for 𝘀ash. How can they win? So they need to go 1-1 the first 2 games. We get there somehow. It's going to happen. We're in the VCS. So game 3, we are going to early pick 𝘁𝗁𝗃 and ban out, well, let's say Renekton and maybe another 𝘁𝗁𝗃 counter answer, and bait 𝘀𝗀s into his favorite top lane pick into 𝘁𝗁𝗃. We bait him into the Fiora, and then we know as soon as Fiora is locked, we don't even have to play the game anymore, because that's unwinnable. And that's the way 𝘀ash beats SBTC today. Just bait 𝘀𝗀s into Fiora, and it's easy.
Alternatively,
you're missing the real 5-head. You ban the 𝘁𝗁𝗃, and you pick the Renekton, and then he picks Quinn, and then it's really lost. 𝘀𝗀s getting baited by his big counter picks hasn't worked out, unfortunately. Hopefully the coach can rein him in today, crack the belt, make sure that he plays something a little bit more standard. But if you want to take it a little bit seriously, or a little bit more seriously, where else do you think Flash might be able to find a chink in the armor as we do head into Champion Select?
Champion pool for mid lane. I think 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is not 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 is not the player to attack DR1 in laning phase. He can't out team fight. He can't out muscle him. But he has a better champion pool right now when it comes to control mages. So maybe you just put 𝘁𝗀𝗀 on his 7th Orianna game or his 4th Azir game, and let him scale in mid lane. Ignore everything that DR1 throws at you, and just go to team fights and say, well, DR1, you have a 20 CS lead, you have a level lead, you may be a half an item up, but I have the control mage and you have Jace, so I win. I think that's actually a very easy way to just get away with this matchup, and Flash knows how to play against DR1 teams. In the end, they won 2 titles against DR1 last year.
It's true. But we'll have to see if they can pull it off today. It's definitely not going to be easy. You can see the records at the top of the screen, and perhaps you can figure out why we favour SBTC in this one. There's Lilia, Rel, 𝘀𝑎sh, and Lucian being taken away. 𝘀𝗀𝗻 not banned out yet, as 𝘁𝗏𝗃 is removed. That's got to be the... hang on.
I think they're setting up for a 𝘀𝗀𝗻 Tristana trade here.
Yeah.
Because they banned away the Thresh, which to me immediately indicates, okay, they want to pick Tristana. Thresh is the best answer in the game to Tristana. He also enables you to go for a more defensive ADC into the Tristana too. So banning Thresh always signals to me you want Tristana. 𝘀𝗀𝗻 open. Does...
Okay. Oh, you do not do that with... No.
Okay, Udyr is open as well.
Okay,
You could just go 𝘀𝗀𝗻 Udyr.
No, you just go you should go Tristana 𝘀𝗀𝗻, and then you pick Udyr third, because they have their
They already
jungler.
have a jungler. Yeah.
Now you've given up 𝘀𝗀𝗻 as well, and that is now the fastest pony in the
Well,
West.
no, but the thing is who's playing?
Does
the
DR1 play it? Yeah,
Well,
that's a very good
doesn't-
question.
DR1 doesn't
Venus.
play it. If he plays it,
Venus
I think that's the dice roll. I agree. I think the thing is, I think Flash rolled the dice and said they're not going to pick 𝘀𝗀𝗻.
Possible.
I don't think that was a necessary dice roll. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is completely correct. They've already picked the jungler. You didn't need to pick Udyr there. It's not like they're going to take it away unless they were going to pivot for sauce. But I don't think that was likely. I think that was a little silly. But they lock in 𝘁𝗀𝗃. They're not snap locking 𝘀𝗀𝗻. Flash might be about to commit grand larceny in the draft.
Oh no.
My god.
Oh no. SBTC doesn't play 𝘀𝗀𝗻, so now Flash. This is the freest game of all time. You got Udyr, Tristana. You can get the 3 strongest champions on the patch. By the way, once again, a VCS team prioritizing 𝘁𝗀𝗻 on 11-4 over Udyr. I still strongly disagree with this. I think on 11-5, yeah, perfectly fine. Absolutely okay. And I guess both teams just handshake in 𝘀𝗀𝗻 not existing, which I think you 2 guys will be happy about. But yeah, it's silly. It's very silly.
I mean, if they made the champion actually not exist, I'd be happy, but you should be picking it. She's crap.
Yeah, she's very, very, very broken.
I give up.
Maybe
give up.
they're just scared of the 𝘁𝗀𝗻 counter pick. They're terrified. DR1's a mean 𝘁𝗀𝗻.
He can actually
Could have
see...
banned it.
He can actually see that 𝘀𝗀𝗀 is actually the 2nd best mid laner in the league, because he is willing to sacrifice this himself. He's willing to play everything. He's willing to play 𝘀𝗀𝗻 3 games in a row and win the series for his team. And these mid laners seem to not be able or willing to do so. I'd say able more on the 𝘁𝗀𝗀 side, willing more on the DR1 side, but you never know.
I wonder,
Maybe they've
if 𝘀𝗀𝗻 goes all the way through this draft, is it the first draft in a tier 1 league that's happened?
No.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I reckon
maybe.
we might have to get a stat person to check that, because it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
It's true.
Yeah, so for production, has 𝘀𝗀𝗻 made it all the way through a draft in a tier 1 league? And when I say tier 1 league, because before chat freaks out, that just means the top league in a region. I'm not saying every league is as good as each other. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, actually. I just looked it up. She only... Oh, actually, no, that's for the... That's, overall, it's a 66.8% presence across all leagues.
Okay, so she's gotten through it.
Surprisingly little. What?
Potentially
Anyway,
that.
let's move on from it. So we won't dwell on that for now. We do have a draft.
Okay. Flash, I'm not sure if Flash actually realizes which mid laner they're playing, because they're setting up a last pick mid lane for 𝘁𝗀𝗀, which is not the mid laner I would last pick for. Where if Yoshino into Zeros is the top lane matchup, I would always try to top lane, focus on top lane. Though, I mean, the Gragas could... No, the Gragas has to be support here. They've actually now with this Nart pick is bad. They've shown everything about the composition. I hate it.
Okay. Technically, there is the possibility it's not a support Gragas. Realistically, it is. As the Jace gets locked in, there's just going to be so much AD damage coming through. Though that
This was
can
so
be the
free.
top. That should be the top lane.
It's top lane, yeah.
For Zeros, realistically. And there's been a lot of mid lane bans, so going to go back to the Syndra or the Twisted Fate. Neither are great, but I feel the Syndra is a much better deal one.
Did you just say did you just say TF is not great?
I qualified that by saying TF isn't great for DL1. So,
Really? I think DL1 is a decent TF. It's not the best.
every time
in the
I've
league.
seen DL1 to Twisted Fate, it's been pretty bad.
So I really don't understand what Flash did here in the draft. They showed Gnar, which they know Zeros loves to play his Jace. It's his most played of all time. So why do you give the free counter pick to top lane when you have red side last pick? And your mid laner's champion pool is already in very dire straits when the two main champs he's played are picked away. Just pick Syndra in R4 spot and give R5 to your top laner. This was just silly from Flash. The last pick phase was really bad in my opinion.
Or pick Seraphine in R4 and then top
Speaking of
lane.
Seraphine, I just want to. I was digging for stats while you guys were talking, and you guys had it handled. I can't find. I'm trying to find who didn't pick her and stuff. But do you know the first Seraphine pick in professional play? Do you know what team it was?
Wasn't it Froggy in
It was Froggy. He played the first professional Seraphine in the world. Just an interesting little thing. That's back when they were building Imperial Mandate. Just a fun
because
fact.
it was super broken.
It was giga broken on preseason. Yeah.
So we have come full cycle. The first league and first region to pick Seraphine, and now also just straight up ignoring Seraphine. Nice. Not sure which is the bigger achievement.
Well, I don't know either. But,
This one. Because we kind of like out of timing for the first one.
I'm not a huge fan of the last phase of this draft from Flash either. I'm pretty unhappy. I don't think Syndra was the pick. You saved R5 for Syndra? Really? That's what you're doing?
It's... At least it's not Renekton. Hey, fellas?
To me, it really feels like Flash drafted without their players visible, like with nameplates off. They thought, okay, we can completely win this draft with an R5. And then they came to R5 and they asked the mid lane, okay, what crazy counterpick do you have for the TF? And he's like, Syndra, I guess. And everyone looks over to him and like, oh no, what did we just do?
𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗹𝘀, give us your last little thought and who will be taking game one.
So I think this is probably going to be SBTC winning, and it's 𝘁𝗀𝗃.
Yep. It's so often 𝘁𝗃𝗃. It comes in. We'll talk to 𝘁𝗃𝗃 again once we do have an analyst desk, but it's just going to be me and Yulwei, the classic VCS English duo. Some say the best.
So, where do we go? We wanted to focus on jungle, and we have a lot of speed in the jungle, as always. It feels like today is speed on both sides all the time. It's 𝘁𝗀𝗃 against 𝘁𝗀r or Lilia, so all the champs that zoom around the map. Sometimes Olaf is in there, he's pretty fast too. So, I'm not sure. So far, so in my opinion, it's really 𝘁𝗀r favored in the early game, and I think Meliodas needs to find something needs to make something happen. Maybe in top lane, Zeros is going to be super aggressive, or he's starting to be insanely aggressive against poor Yoshino.
This is so mean. I would be hovering over the Alt F4 button if my lane opponent did that to
And
me.
Yoshino is so tilted, he already missed 2 easy CS just
Oh,
off this
no.
movement.
I can't even blame him. It's so annoying.
It is.
Just stop. He hasn't got a CS yet. Oh, there it is. He breaks the one. 𝘀cie stepping up. 𝘀𝗋. I mean, we've got to talk about... There is a lot of meta power in this bot lane for SBTC. 𝘀𝗶𝗵𝗀 recently
good
securing...
dodge.
Yep, 𝘀𝗶𝗵𝗀 getting engaged on. But now
You're
they're
level
turning
1,
it
by
around
the way,
onto
for that.
𝘀𝗋, flashing away. Yeah, not what he wanted, but took a lot of damage, had to burn his flash. But I was saying, 𝘀𝗶𝗵𝗀 picked up the wife buff last week, and 𝘀𝗀 picked up the kid buff. So, in a really good position. But you know who's not in a good position? 𝘁𝗏𝗀.
Looks like
He's
𝘁𝗏𝗀.
dead.
Nice L5 you got there. Oh, man. Oh, no, no, no. Yijin, red buff, ghost. It doesn't actually full clear, which is kind of... Okay, Meliodas, I guess he has teleport.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Meliodas could really get a big advantage here, especially because Yijin did not get the kill. So Meliodas able to invade here. The top lane is not close.
Yeah, but he doesn't have top lane prio. I feel
Yeah,
Legion
he
can just
doesn't,
walk
but I
in
don't
and just
think
knock him away, right?
Zeros really wants to go there. Meliodas...
He doesn't want to, but I think he can threaten it. See, all he had to do was wiggle a little bit, and they had to call off the blue steal.
I think 𝘁𝗏𝗀 could have been a little bit more assertive. The screen is... Oh, okay,
He's a
there we
red
go.
wave.
Yijin just very, very quick. And 𝘁𝗏𝗀, well, you know how it goes. You need to flash the first interaction. Don't flash afterwards. Either flash immediately or don't flash at all. This is the worst possible thing you can do. Now he doesn't have any flash, so Yijin's ghost timing, he's just looking at mid lane, counting down the seconds for his ghost to come off cooldown, and then he's there again, probably level 6, that's another easy kill. Not much 𝘁𝗏𝗀 can do, so not sure how Flash can recover from this horrible mid lane state.
Yeah, it's really bad. There's a bit of damage being dealt.
Okay.
Okay, Zeros just killed Josh.
It's one of those games.
Yep, it's an SBTC speedrun, any percent. Get your speedrun.coms ready, as this one's going to be uploaded. Put it in, someone queue up. We're finally landing by home. It's the speedrunning anthem. And how did this happen? Get wrecked.
Huh. So Yoshino is split second too late on the flash there. Usually he can actually dodge the Q damage from Jace with a flash, but he didn't. So just very small mechanical mistake. I think he barely missed the timing for the flash. So usually you shouldn't die there. Oh no, Yoshino, you shouldn't die again. But he has to go back to base. He actually has to go back to base.
This is disaster.
The horror.
There's a setup on this bot side here. Meliodas is around. 𝘁𝗏𝗀 and 𝘀𝗀𝗃 have a big health advantage, and we know what Tristana can do early on. Mid lane, 𝘁𝗏𝗀 getting chased off by DR1. Are they going to go under this tower? No, they're going to call this off. Ooh, 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀 that
Okay.
low. Risky, but Yijin still perhaps a little bit too close.
Potentially W auto attack W for 𝘀𝗃𝗃 could have been possible. Maybe?
Maybe.
It's close. It's close and very risky. And there's heal, of course, so never mind me. There's heal available still for 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗀, so smart decision not to go under turret. It's very bad early game for Flash. They are in dire straits here. They're losing everything but bot lane, but bot lane alone will not be able to get you out of this hole, especially once DR1 is unlocked on the map, which just happened. He just hit level 6.
Yep.
So now bot lane can't even overextend anymore. Top lane is non-existent. Yoshino is...
Serrated Dirk and a longsword to Doran's shield and cloth armor.
Yeah, this is just tragedy in the top lane. And by the way, yeah, 𝘀𝗃 or maybe Yoshino, who knows who made the final call, set this up themselves. They just went, okay, we can just face up now when we have R5. I still hate the decision so much. Like this one here, 𝘁𝗏𝗀 just clearing out the wave, gets a little bit of solo experience, and also helps Syndra not lose too many creeps, or the team. Syndra actually is losing the creeps.
Oh, here goes Yijin charging on in. They want to get onto Yoshino. They do it well. Mega Gnar was nowhere close, and he will now be a dead Gnar. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
It's 2k gold lead at 6 minutes your way.
That was a level 5 jungler against a level 6 top laner, but sadly, level 6 top laner was on his very weak form. Way too weak. And 𝘁𝗏𝗀 might die as well.
They actually don't use the gate from TF.
Surprisingly.
Actually,
Did he
there might
go
have been a bit of a
somewhere
mistake.
else?
I think there
Maybe he
might
went
have
back
been.
to mid lane?
Maybe.
I
I'm not
missed
sure.
it.
I'm not sure. But they don't go in. I don't hate it. There's no real need to take the risk. You know, 𝘀𝗀𝗀 did still have access to the skill button. So, could have been a bit of a mess up with tower.
Well, you say that, but then take a look at his inventory and tell me how much skill is on the skill button, because I don't think it's going to represent much.
True, I think it'll do about
Oh.
150 skills.
There's nothing.
𝘁𝗀𝗀kid,
Nothing.
however, 𝘁𝗀𝗀kid's having a decent time.
Bot
He
lane
is a
really
CS
winning
lead.
all the trades. Yeah, we
Yeah.
see why 𝘀𝗀𝗀 is so heavily focused right now. She's very, very strong. She can be flexed too, but mostly played bot lane right now, which is interesting because last year when we saw 𝘀𝗀𝗀, we never saw her bot lane. Right now, she's the #1 ADC, together with Senna in other regions, but we don't talk about that here.
Senna
So-
doesn't exist in mid.
Yeah, she's just not in the client. It's unfortunate. 𝘀𝗀𝗀, just so much pressure. She scales well. Maybe not the best, but she still scales well. She has decent wave clear. She has insane turret pressure, and the all-in potential, especially in the current support meta, is second to none. So yeah, she just wins basically every laning phase. I'm curious when we're going to see someone go Caitlyn into 𝘀𝗀𝗀, because in my opinion, Caitlyn just smashes her in lane. And we have seen some Caitlyn in especially the western regions here and there. She got buffed in 11.4 so
Yeah.
I expect this to be maybe something some of the older, more experienced AD carries
I
can
don't
look
know
into
if
later
Flash
on.
want this. Yeah, they're going to try and steal the buff, but
Gosh,
it's a
not
gold
small
card.
again.
It's a Zeros. Ooh, boy. Ooh, no, it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly on Summoner's Rift. There's an onslaught of shadows. It's another dead Yoshino. 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid with his R5
Where's that,
Syndra. All of the draft bucks have been dropped on the floor. Oh, so, Yulwei, you read any good books recently? Or anything?
Oh my. 9 minutes in, 6-0 in kills, 3k gold lead. Yesterday, what happened to SPTC? Please explain SPTC to me every day.
Every day has disconnected.
I don't understand the scene. I mean, to be honest, it's also a lot on Flash. Yoshino just transformed back to Mini-Na, so he's absolutely useless. He, as you pointed out earlier, he's sitting on 2 item components, one of which is Doran's blade or shield, and the other one is cloth armor here. So not much to contribute, and then 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid just walks into his own demise. Double kill for the tank 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀, who's 3 kills for top lane, 2 kills for jungle, 1 kill for mid lane. Bot lane doesn't exist. Looks like 𝘀𝗀𝗀 to me. Maybe not quite as clean, especially later on, but this early game is very reminiscent of old 𝘀𝗀𝗀 times.
Yulwei, it's 4K at, well, 3.2K at 10 minutes, Yulwei. And they're winning bot lane. This is tragic. This is just straight up a Greek tragedy. Like,
This feels like one of my solo queue games from yesterday. You play bot lane, you just chill, you're farming evenly, and then you press tab. You already have a bad feeling about pressing tab, and then you slowly move your hand over there. You kind of
oh, 𝘀𝗀𝗀's been
hesitate.
caught. What? Oh my god, 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid's 𝘁𝗀𝗀kid's gonna die as well. The gold card is locked. It's a cleanse, it's a flash. 𝘁𝗀𝗀kid will actually get out of there. Well done. 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid, will he be able to get away from the pony? Somehow I don't think so. As under the tower goes Ejin, puts him in the ground. Oh no.
Yeah, first pick 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid, I guess. Just first pick 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid all the time. It's fine.
I mean, this game is like the draft was coming together. Like, you know, they were waiting for that R5. They were waiting for it, and then when they needed him most, 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid vanished.
Yeah, not sure what 𝘀𝗀𝗀kid is doing here. Just wandering into the greens. I don't know. Just looking at the area. Looks cool, but your corpse is not so cool, especially for your poor bot laner, the only one without a death on the team, which is not a good thing to say at 10 minutes. It's not what you want your team to have on the stat cards. 0-3 in top lane, 0-3 in mid lane. And only one death so far for jungle and support. I think those two have to step it up a little bit more, especially
this looks
𝘀𝗏.
this looks like my solo games. I mean, Yulwei, I appreciate you doing analysis, but
No, I actually have a fun stat. So
I think you need to
maybe it's both.
switch over to do some crime scene analysis. Read the blood splatters.
Okay, can
What
you
is
go
your
the
fun
chalk
stat?
and line the corpse?
Just the Flash logo. Oh, but what's your fun stat, my good friend?
So, tell me, who's the player with the most deaths in this league so far?
𝘀𝗀𝗋?
Up to this week. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'm not sure. Who is it?
He's playing in this game.
I mean, 𝘁𝗏𝗋's an option, 𝘁𝗏𝗏's an option. Yoshino's
decide.
had a bunch of ints. Come on, who is it? Gotta reveal.
Of course, it's 𝘁𝗏𝗏, the legend
Of course.
support 𝘀𝗀𝗀 player. Oh man. Wait,
For
actually,
the record, Marby guessed that in our production chat.
good job, good job.
Oh,
Look at this
my.
horse.
He's fast.
It's very fast indeed. But yeah, I actually want to talk about Yoshino a little bit more. Never
Oh,
mind.
hang on. Dear one,
Well, that
making a
might be
play,
bad
stuns
again.
up. Okay, Slay. I'm not. They actually might not have had vision. I'm not sure, but not a good ult, regardless. Oh, but
Hey,
you know
but
what? Doesn't
𝘁𝗏𝗏 offers
matter.
himself.
Oh, we didn't get 𝘁𝗏𝗏. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 says, whoa, guys, we don't want to have them feel bad. We're not bullies. I'll make sure they get a kill.
He just walked there. Oh man,
Meliodas-
𝘁𝗏𝗏, please
Meliodas
turn
might
on
be dead.
your
Oh,
mini
never
map.
mind. This is
Yeah,
this is unbelievable. This is
one big go next. This is, if anyone ever wanted to see a pro game, because they just can't believe they should ever surrender a pro game. Yeah, I kind of feel like this one is the one to show.
I'm going to go ahead. Can I predict Flash fans' response from this one? We will wait until after this play. They might break the perfect game. Celebrity's going low. This could be the perfect game ending. There it is. No perfect game for SBTC. They pick up a kill. Will they go forward onto Slay? They will, but it might not work out. 𝘀𝗏𝗏 is here. He's very spooky, as is 𝘁𝗏. Gonna make it a 𝘁𝗏 kill on to 𝘁𝗏𝗏. Slay will pick it up. Yijin arrives, does not have the onslaught of shadow, so going under tower is a little bit risky. Builds up the speed. He was just drifting around, building up the mini turbos, and hits the Rainbow Road ultra shortcut. Looking good there. They pick up the kill. This is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and finally, all the inting from his teammates is caught up with the 𝘀𝗏𝗏. He had a great time in bot lane, got his first kill, killed his lane opponent, was like, ha, ADC diff, we're going to win this game. And then, yeah, the 𝘁𝗏𝗏 arrived with 3 kills and a finished item. And yeah, then he probably also very, very quickly
Slay missing
transitioned
that.
over.
Yeah, Slay missing that Zenith Blade was a little.
Slay is not having a good game, by the way. He's missing
No.
everything, but it doesn't matter. Look at this burst from 𝘀𝗏 once he goes under turret.
It's a lot of damage. Oh my.
Dude,
Oh,
hit
and
this-
back in
oh,
the
𝘀𝗏𝗏,
live, by the way,
no.
𝘀𝗏𝗏 died again.
Oh, wow, did he?
In the picture, yeah, he got killed by the 𝘁𝗏𝗏.
Oh no. 𝘀𝗏𝗏 also cancel the teleport. He could have been safe.
Oh, we go back to live, and it's another team fight. Ding,
Oh,
ding, ding, ding,
Zenith
ding.
Blade.
𝘁𝗏𝗏 goes down, and 𝘁𝗏 will pick up 𝘁𝗏𝗏. Oh my.
Here, man.
Can I predict Flash fans' response? Because, you know, we're very in touch with the community. It's going to be that meme of the guy riding along on a bike, and then he pulls out a stick. The stick is just labeled 𝘁𝗏𝗏, sticks it in his front wheels, and falls, lands. Ah, goddamn Yoshino!
I mean, not like Yoshino's without blame here in this
No,
game,
but-
to be fair.
I don't necessarily think it's all his fault.
Let's talk a little bit
I
of
wasn't allowed to
Yoshino.
make the proper version of that joke because I'd get fined.
So, yeah, last week, of course, on our podcast, we did the Nemesis drafting, right? And
Yep.
people talked about, oh, there's a small, cool play from Yoshino. So actually, a little bit of praise going over
Thanks
to
for
him.
celebrity. Good job.
Yeah, nicely done. And then he just dies to the support because he takes aggro with his spammy Cinder. Very unfortunate. Slay just walks away, gets the kill. Nice. Good. But yeah, I actually looked at Yoshino's stats before this week and before we went into the podcast episode and realized that he has very, very bad stats. So I feel like at the end of the split, I think we give him a little bit of time still in the split and maybe even don't really count the split, but we kind of have to look at his performance over this split. Even though his team is also griefing him and also playing very badly, I think Yoshino is quietly having a really, really bad split. He's last in CSD, I believe, or at least one of the last. He is by far the number one player with the biggest gold deficit in the whole league. Not just the top lane, the whole league. So he is getting picked on, but he's also playing pretty badly. He got solo killed in this game very early on. He got absolutely out mechanicked, I guess, in the top lane too. So I feel like we have to also look at top lane in the future for Flash. Just see what Yoshino does, because he was the shining light. He was the hope for this team. And so far in this split, hasn't delivered.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. I think there's a pretty big problem with mentality at Flash. I mean, again, we don't want to speculate too much. You know, whenever we communicate with players, you know, there's a language barrier. You know, can they express themselves nuanced in English? Probably not. And that's not their fault. It's Vietnamese League. But, you know, Yoshino's fairly active in our Discord. And, let's just say he is not particularly positive about his team and himself. So I definitely think there's an element of giving up. As 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀 does land a stun. Congratulations. But 𝘂1 on the chase. And, I mean, what else is there to say? This is bullying. They kill Celebrity, ruining his KDA. Yoshino gets 2. What a play, big boy. But 𝘂eros gets the kill back. They will actually go forward, break his KDA as well. Oh, Yijin missing that ultimate. 𝘁𝗏 flashing over the wall and just giving him the thumbs up. Gets stunned up, says DOY. Goes down, and it's 8k at 19 minutes. It's 19 kills to 5, and I think we can say GG.
Oh, we could have said that way before. So they actually get the pick on Slay. Yes. Nicely done. They get decent damage on him, I guess. Celebrity a little bit overextended with Yoshino coming in, and Yoshino showing up in teamfights. This is something that hasn't changed for the worse. His early game is not great, his laning stats are pretty bad, but his teamfighting has always been great, and it's still pretty good. So I like the steal, by the way, from 𝘁𝗏 here. Just waiting for Meliodas to deal the damage. Just wait. No, he waited for the stun to abate, but of course it's still very funny.
This is Yulwei. I'm not happy. This game makes me sad.
I mean, you know that we're going to go to game 3 anyway, right? Because SBTC is just really going to troll next game.
Of course it's going to go to game 3. It never should, but it's going to.
You get bangers. All the 2 days that were supposed to be really bad games get back to back super great games, a lot of kills, super cool action. Then I get my first game of the weekend and it's this? Like, oh god, what is this?
Coming onto the Rift, oh, I've got so many points, I'm gonna have such a good time, and then it's just Flash being like, guys, you know, 𝘁𝗏 runs into the team house, he runs into the practice room, guys, guess what? What, 𝘁𝗏? What? I got to gold! Engaged on again. Oh, the first kill will go over to Yijin. They're chasing them down. 𝘂 just an absolute menace in the front line. They pick up 1 kill, and I'm surprised it wasn't 3 or 4. It is just that one. They go off, and I think they're just going to go pick up a Baron. And
I want to replay from this fight. What 𝘂 just did in this fight is the most disrespectful, professional, if you want to call it that, professional team TF play I've ever seen. He just teleported straight into 4 members and stayed alive. Nice. So,
let's see if Flash can turn this one around. They've got the power of their R5 Syndra ready to go. Does not have access to the skill button though. Unfortunately, they'd probably win the fight if it did. Totally. As Baron goes down, Nar is deleted before he can go Mega. 𝘁𝗏 will be joining him.
Make it a little bit less obvious, Flash. Come on. This is not even soft grief anymore. This is just straight up get me out of here. They just walked to the Baron, didn't contest the Baron, but still stood there and let themselves be killed. Come on, guys. This
is when two people in your champion select were arguing, and then right before the game loaded, one of them just typed a smiley face. This is them.
No. Oh, that's a very bad sign. The smiley face. Never. Nothing good has ever come from it.
No. It's a menacing little emote. Oh, this is just horrific. The real question I want is, can SBTC end with more kills than minutes?
Probably.
I'm hoping they can. Probably.
Yeah.
I want them to. But not combined kills. I want it just them.
I mean, they're still 22 minutes and 22 kills.
Exactly.
So if they win a team fight here and
going.
end the game, yeah, they should be able to. Still, SBTC still not able to overcome the big curse that has been the biggest stomp of the whole split, which was against SBTC. 𝘀𝗀 winning against SBTC in 20 minutes. They have still to erase that shame from their resume. No kills. Oh no.
Oh, they're slipping. They're slipping your way. They're slowing down. They've lost time on this split. Might be a reset. Depending on if they're going for world record attempts. But Flash holding on for now. The miracle continues to live. Totally living. Yoshino defending his top lane.
The miracle when your 2-item Tristana is just going to one-shot everyone on the enemy team. Let's go.
Hey, I mean, look, it took Jesus 3 days. Maybe Flash can have some time. Yoshino clearing out the wave. I'm allowed to make that joke. That's fine. That's fine.
So, let's look at kill contribution. I think jungle and mid is still even for SBTC. We have 13 kill contributions on either side.
Oh my god, did you see that damage out of 𝘀𝗏 as Yoshino is sent to the grave? Oh, no. This is...
𝘀𝗏 missed his contribution. He's now one behind Yijin. He needs to sneakily let the Yijin tank and die, then pick up kills afterwards. So let's see if 𝘀𝗏 has something in store for us. Does he have the perfect bait
for this game?
Oh, the flash. Oh, man.
There goes. 𝘀𝗏 just goes down. That R5 Syndra really paying off. Worth all of those draft bucks. 𝘀𝗏 thuds in another accelerated shock blast. Looks like it was up in about 5th gear there. Racing on in, killing some kids.
I think it's easy. 𝘀𝗏 7. Following some good traditions here. 0, 7, and 0. One away from reverse legendary. Can he do the Pyrian? Let's go.
This is where I wish LoL formatted their scores the same way as Counter-Strike did, because then he'd be a member of Her Majesty's Secret Service, Agent 007. But unfortunate, we don't get that meme in League.
Well, we can get reverse legendary here. It has been a long time since we... no, actually not. 𝘀𝗏 last week achieved the highest state of league. Oh my god, look at his HP bar, by the way. Yeah, 1 Q, empowered Q from 𝘀𝗏, and he's below half HP.
Yeah, I wonder... 𝘀𝗏 is that 3 items.
Yeah. We're a little bit too far away, but I kind of want to see the Elder Dragon one-shotting 𝘀𝗏. I think 𝘀𝗏 with another item and Elder Dragon, that's a one-shot on 𝘀𝗏.
Maybe. We might get there, you know. It's only 5 minutes. There's enough wave clear on Flash that they might actually be able to hold out. Because the death timers aren't all that long. But look, they're building for a push here. They're trying to get a massive minion wave into this bot side. Oh, 𝘀𝗏's been caught. He should be going down. Yeah, there's a kill.
Hope. Can you feel it? 𝘀𝗏 got another shutdown. He can probably complete a 3rd item and then be 2 items behind still.
I don't know if you win this fight, guys, even 4v5. I think you just go clear that wave. You've lost the tower. Can they save the inhib? For a moment, but now Celebrity stepping up, throws one little void bolt.
Needs to build the spa.
Yeah, he only just came out of Mega, though, so he's still a little sleepy. Been looking sleepy this whole game. The accelerated shock blast will not land.
They're just straight up sieging. 4v5.
Do you see how much damage that 𝘀𝗏 W just did? Did about 4 damage to Yijin.
Yeah, it's nothing.
The final
sad.
inhib falls. Flash are on their last legs. I want SBTC to pick up some kills. If they don't have as many kills as there are minutes, it's a failure. As 𝘀𝗋𝗋 gives us a bit of a jam. That's his biggest contribution to the game so far. As
No, I
this
like the
has
steal
been-
for 1,000 gold shutdown. I like that one. That was pretty
yeah,
good.
that too. This is a little bit of a 𝘀𝗀𝗋𝗋, as they say
A little
in
bit.
business. There is the Twisted Fate ultimate. The Nexus towers are beginning to fall. There's the engaged Slay, hits the Zenith Blade, goes on in Everfrost across, and to the 𝘁𝗀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 ultimate as well. They're picking up all of those kills. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 will be the first one to fall. There is actually a little bit traded back. Yoshino going low. He goes into the Zhonya's Slay, diving onto the backside, goes into the fountain, double kill for 𝘃eros. And
We
Dipkid
need one
goes
more.
jumping forward. Kaboom! He goes pop. 𝘀𝗋𝗋 is not even trying. It's a hard int. They're
Come
just
on,
feeding kills onto the fountain.
He's just standing still. 27 kills in 27 minutes? Edge case? I think they
𝘁𝗃𝗃, I
needed
don't
one
think that's
more.
good enough. I don't think that's good enough. You had to have more.
How the hell did this game last 27 minutes and 42 seconds? It was over after 4 minutes. What?
We're going to go to a break. 10 minutes. We'll be back. Will Flash take a game, Yulwei? Who knows? Find out soon on VCS English.
Feels I'm crossing a line. I'm not looking to set things right. This tear I cry falls like healing rain, softly soothes my pain. This surrender, it feels like I kiss the feathers of a hummingbird in flight, breaking up into a million specks of light. Take the shape of an angel in the night, carry you to peaceful beams. My home is my skin, and in the world of within, all I have is my love for you. If I conceal my fear, will I be in the clear? Or am I giving life to phantom pain? 'Cause it's playing out every note in the score. I surrender once more, but as my tears fall, they still kiss the feathers of a hummingbird in flight, breaking up into a million specks of light. Take the shape of an angel in the night, carry you to peaceful peace. Grant me one wish, send me one more kiss on the whispering wind, like white horse.
Welcome back, everybody. It's game 2. Flash, SBTC. It was a close fought battle.
Wait,
Back and
where
forth.
did game 1 go?
Did I say game 3? I meant game 2. Well.
Where did game 1 go anyway? I didn't see
Talking
one game
about-
1.
Did you not see game 1? It was amazing. Back and forth action. It was great. And then, a dragon appeared, and then I woke up and I was in my bed. And then I realized that the real game 1 was not close. The real game 1 was a tragedy. Marby, welcome back to the VCS English Analyst Desk. What was your take? Give us your in-depth analytical view on game 1.
So I got this coloring in thing in the mail recently, and I was very entertained by that. So I might just, if the second game continues much the same way, I might just take up coloring in instead.
Maybe.
My God.
Can you send that to Parquet? Because I think he'd have a better career.
Yeah. Little bit of just a smidgen of a stump. Didn't exactly go the way Flash was planning it with that draft.
I'm not sure. I'm not
What
sure
do you want me
this
to
draft
say,
was
man?
planning for. Honestly,
What do you want me to say? I was like there was no chance Flash won after 5 minutes.
There was no chance
they got
Flash won after
dunked on.
draft.
I mean,
I mean, it's SBTC. They had a chance, but they didn't after 5 minutes because it was SBTC.
yeah, the solo lanes were already down 2 times probably after 5 minutes or 6 minutes, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the bot lane for Flash actually played pretty well. Well,
that's true.
Div Kid played pretty well.
Laning phase was decent. Then Palette proceeded to do what Palette always does after laning phase, but yeah, they looked strong. The Tristana looked pretty good. Div Kid on Tristana, yeah, I like to see it. But yeah, the rest of the map, not good. Not good, as Lilia would like to say.
Well, hopefully they can watch out Eep in the second game. because they need to dodge away from everything SBT's being throwing at them.
Absolutely everything.
Is there an approach in the draft that makes a difference?
I
I'm
think
not
the
sure there
opening
is.
was actually pretty good. So I think the approach to draft was the correct one. The execution after phase 1 was questionable. I mean, why counterpick yourself in 2 lanes? I have no idea. But the start to the draft was actually pretty good. I think top lane needs to be looked at for Flash. They need to secure a better matchup for Yoshino, a matchup where he doesn't end. Sadly, SBTC is now on red side, so they are going to give R5 to Zeros. And I think the biggest thing Flash can hope for is the odd counter pick like Fiora, like Quinn, maybe. So maybe Zeros beats himself, because I can't really see the light for Yoshino in this matchup right now.
Alternatively, 4-letter word, starts with an S, really popular in other regions.
Sand.
Just please play Zion or another tank. That's fine. It's real. Like, if you are going to be counterpicked, and just go for that tank option. It's Ornn as well. Yoshino has had great Ornn performances in the past, so I really just it's so hard to see where Flash should go with their draft here, because they don't have that counter pick option available.
Yeah, I would like to see them go back to Orianna or Azir for 𝘁𝗏𝗀. It was open in phase 1, then both got banned away by SBTC in phase 2 of the draft. So just secure one of the stable mid laners that will not die, will not end in mid lane, because they have either face rush in the case of Orianna, or of course just the shuffle for Azir. And he's so much better on these 2 champs as well. So I really want to secure an early mid lane pick. The 𝘁𝗏𝗋 ban is strange to me, but I guess you don't want to see Yoshino on one of his best carries. Maybe pigeonhole him into one of the tankier champs in top lane. I like this. Hecarim is banned, so Udyr first pick, probably going to be on. They responded to a Lilia
Seraphine
pick
open,
here.
but it was open last game. So probably not going to get
Yeah,
picked
so-
again. Maybe we get Paulette inting on Seraphine again. He's done it once this split.
That was
so
one
yeah.
of the very early games, I believe, and was very
Like,
rough
he
for
was
Flash.
Almost their first game, yeah.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
absolutely
First
destroyed.
So we're going to see the Olaf picked up for Eugen, looking probably for a bit of a better skirmish into that Udyr, looking for a way to win that fight. And we're just
Very
gonna
first
see-
Olaf pick, this whole split. That's interesting to me. Eugen is definitely an Olaf player from before. Last split, the split before, last spring especially. But yeah, no Olaf so far. 5 Gragas games, 4 Udyr games, 4 Hecarim, now 5 Hecarim games, I guess. But I like what Flash is doing. Just go back to bread and butter, go back to what worked before, go back to team fighting with the front line, with the back line, with a nice scaling draft. This team is still pretty good at team fighting. Not quite as good as with 𝘁𝗏𝗏 and Ego, of course, but still, some of the... Well, Slater I can't overlook. But yeah, some of the parts are still there. Yoshino and Paulette, they know how to shot call the team fights, and I like to see 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏 Orianna. His 8th game, I believe, or 7th? Yeah, 7th game of Orianna, so very comfortable on this one.
Tristana completely ignored, which is a little bit interesting, but very strong bot lane picked up for the side of SBTC.
Very strange that SBTC didn't go for Tristana here. Just go Tristana and flex it into mid lane. Enemy team is going to overlook Jinx, and you get Jinx and Tristana. Now, if I were Flash here, I think I would just ban away the Tristana still, because I'm scared of Tristana in mid lane.
And meanwhile, SBTC looking to target Paulette, push him onto something like the Gragas, and make him really just a squishy target to be picked up, be taken down time and time again, because the Flash is at their best when Paulette is hard to kill on something like the set, because otherwise he just, runs it.
Set
Runs
is
it down.
the only champion that Paulette has performed well in this split. Played a couple of set games, some of them have been pretty bad, but there's been 1 or 2 really good ones, so take away the only champion he's shown any skill on. Why not? And Yeah, I hate saying this about 𝘀𝗀, because last split he was the best support in the league, but he's been dreadful this split. There's Victor locked into D1.
So we're building a lot of long-range, late-game insurance here for SBTC and an Olaf. I want to see a little bit more action in top lane, a little bit more early-game agents. Wait, what?
Double
Just
ADC.
happened?
It's farming Syndra. I mean, farming Syndra? What the hell did I just say?
Yeah.
Fasting Senna.
I mean, it's not really. It's just... What is happening?
What?
No.
Okay.
Whoa.
No, that's definitely not the case. It's gonna be a tank for
The
Yoshi
top
on the
lane,
top lane. That's
yeah, we need a
what I
tank. We
wanted.
really need a tank. Okay.
I did want to top lane. I don't think Gragas is the correct tank in this scenario because he's not very consistent with his sort of with his engage options.
I
But
think his engage is
it's a
way better
start.
than Sion. Sion's engage is so
It has-
easy to dodge, especially with the Thresh. Like, Sion can never land an ultimate on Thresh.
Can we talk about for a moment how much of a monkey's paw moment this is for Yulwei? He's been begging. He's got the monkey paw. Someone in the VCS, please pick Senna. The finger curls, and 𝘀𝗀 picks Senna.
Senna Kai'Sa. I'm not sure if I've ever played this lane. Sounds really
it's
bad to me. I mean,
So
they have a lot of damage, and early on, Jinx might not be able to execute either of them, but if Slay gets a good grab or two, they die very quickly.
one hook, especially onto the center, and it's all over. But
She should never get hooked. Usually I like Senna into Thresh. I think it's actually a decent matchup, especially later on when you get the quest. The quest is so much better for Senna than for Thresh, who gets, 30 armor. Who cares? He's on 200 armor anyway. But 30 armor for Senna in the late game are really, really good. So I kind of like to play this one, but usually I play Senna with a better ADC or tank or whatever.
Does this quest trigger in professional play?
Yeah, of course it does. Oh,
It does? Because I know Rengar 𝘁𝗃 doesn't. It specifically doesn't.
Oh.
Because Rengar can't, but I'm not sure on this one. Because this
True.
one's not super broken. Obviously, if Senna wins it, it's really nice. So Rengar 𝘁𝗃 is like broken for whoever wins.
That's true.
I remember that one used to be disabled. Not that we've seen Rengar 𝘁𝗃 in a long time. But let's head on to the Rift. Marby, are we going to game 3?
no, that players on Flash are just not good enough, and especially on the day. And I think SBTC are having a good day today.
Yeah. This is an interesting decision. I mean, fasting Senna's good, but I'm not happy to see it being played in this team in these players. But
I mean, I don't mind.
you're the expert. Yulwei.
I don't mind it being seen in Team Flash. I hate it as this normal support pick. It's okay in solo queue as a support. It's not even great in solo queue as a support. It's kind of okay if you know what you're doing. But in professional play, now we have 2 ADCs. And I guess one tank and one pseudo tank, because this Gragas is going to go AP. Your team composition is looking very squishy and easy to dive. Senna has no defensive tool other than, I guess, the shield that needs time to channel and the E, but that's not very helpful against Olaf. So I think Olaf and Na just run you down, and once Jinx gets 1 kill, she can run you down too. So I'm very scared for this. It has a lot of range. It has a lot of zone control in the late game. I feel like if Flash gets ahead, which should not happen against SBTC, to be clear, then this can succeed. But yeah, I'm scared for them because I feel like this is one of those experiments from 𝘀𝗀 where he just goes for something out of the ordinary and ints a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they should have control early, just basic range advantage. So that might be nice. 𝘀𝗀 has been playing well, but we'll see how it goes. I am interested. I hope this doesn't sour the rest of the VCS on the Senna pick.
I mean, it can't really, right? Because we don't see Senna anywhere anyway, so
Yeah.
there's nothing to sour.
Well, maybe we want 𝘀𝗏𝗏 to do really, really well then, so the center starts getting picked. But I don't know what the odds of that one are. We'll find out.
I mean, just to shine a little bit of light on Flash's team composition as a whole, I think they have some nice tools, especially in the late game. 𝘂𝗏 plus 𝘁𝗏𝗏 plus 𝘂𝗏𝗏 and 𝘂𝗏 running in, maybe from a flank, on 2 immobile AD carries on the backline for double shockwave. That's an insta-win. So I think 𝘁𝗏𝗏 could really carry this game here.
Oh no.
And
oh
𝘁𝗏𝗏 is dead.
𝘁𝗏𝗏 is DED dead. that's first blood, and 𝘁𝗏𝗏 is going to pay for the sins of his support. That's a theme of this split. Double kill for Celebrity, and boom. Flash lose. Nah,
Yeah, I mean, that's a double kill for 𝘀𝗰𝗋, and that's not what you want. Because now, with this, 𝘀𝗰𝗋 is not really... 𝘀𝗰𝗋 is one of those champs, she kind of feels like she always gets ahead, always gets some kills in laney phase, but usually through ganks or maybe with a snipe in another lane. Not this early on in lane, and now she can go back to base, purchase a nice little pickaxe maybe even the Noon Quiver, and maybe you can avoid fighting the 𝘀𝗰𝗋 head-on, but you can never pretend, or you can never have her not scale. Oh, 𝘂𝗏𝗏 gets a nice stun on Yijin. No mana for Yijin.
Yeah, Yijin's in a lot of trouble. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 will come in and get a assist and a soul as well, so a good fight back there. Gets it only to 200 gold. Flash not out of this one yet.
How is Yijin still over 3 there? He's so far behind. He has half the CS from 𝘂𝗏𝗏.
He didn't take his wolves.
Oh, well, he is in a really bad spot now, Yijin. And 𝘂𝗏𝗏 should hit level 5 of the next camp that's spawning. He needs to make it out safely, but there's no one else to contest him, so that should be easy. Now, can he deny? Can he further invade the jungle of Yijin? I think he's right now focused on securing the second Scuttle Crab, which should be easy. So Yijin on this Olaf, he's so far behind. Oh no! Oh no!
This is going to get worse before it gets better. 𝘂𝗏𝗏, is he going to commit to this? Tier 1 first on the walk. Was smited
very
there by
low in mana.
Yijin got the smite though, so he does secure the crab. The crab? What am I talking about? Sorry, the raptor.
The chicken.
The chicken, yeah, there we go. Much softer crab.
So right now he's sitting on 19 CS. I think he missed one of the smaller chickens. He should still hit level 4. Yeah, he does. This camp, so at least he's now not on parity, because now 𝘂𝗏𝗏 is of course off the crab, hit level 5. But he recovered slightly. He's still very far behind in jungle clear. The good thing is, though, his lane should not need any help. Top lane's a counter matchup, or a decent matchup, I should say. And bot lane...
Here comes the engage. They're going forward, and 𝘁𝗏𝗏 throws out the life sentence as he just misses for no reason, and 𝘁𝗏𝗏 survives. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 takes some unnecessary damage, but gets a soul for it, so I suppose it was not bad.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗏𝗏 in a really bad spot right now, because he, whenever you play center... Oh, never mind me. 2 people coming in.
Oh, 𝘂𝗏𝗏's coming down the teleport as well. That's the first kill. Easy. Can they get the second on the Celebrity? They absolutely can. 𝘂𝗏𝗏 was crispy clean and under control.
And this is not over yet. Flash fighting back.
Not.
Very exciting times.
They're 1,000 gold ahead at 6 minutes.
I think 𝘁𝗏𝗏's life sentence gave them life back. They gave them a little bit of hope back, and now suddenly a kill ahead, very far ahead, and Yijin just gifted over another kill. Look at the top lane control as well. 𝘂𝗏𝗏 with the perfect time to come into bot lane. Is not going to lose anything. Has just pushed out the top wave. So now 𝘂𝗏𝗏 can't really follow teleport. And 𝘂𝗏𝗏 missed so much time in clearing the wave because he tried to chase him away. In the end, 𝘂𝗏𝗏 still made it here. And amazing flash E-flash, of course, on top of Celebrity. No time to flash away. It's another kill.
Oh, and we come back to live, and they've killed 𝘁𝗏𝗏. This is looking like we might have a game 3 Yulwei. They're off to a cracker of a start. You can never count Flash out, or rather, you can never count 𝘂𝗏𝗏𝗏 in. Flash, risky, going straight through the tower. Celebrity wants to try and turn this one, but if he gets excited, he does, but not excited enough.
And that's a shutdown for 𝘀𝗰𝗋. That's never worth it, especially because 𝘁𝗏𝗏 couldn't even make it there. 𝘁𝗏𝗏 had exhaust, so they could have secured the kill if 𝘁𝗏𝗏 made it past the turret. Sadly, no minions. Very nice play from Celebrity, actually, to clear out the minions, completely focus on that aspect, and protect himself from another dive. He has 3 kills under his belt, so does 𝘀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀, but Celebrity now the only hope for SBTC, at least in this part of the game. 𝘂𝗔 is still here. I think that was something SBTC didn't really anticipate, and 𝘀𝗀 is an easy kill. We have another fight for the blue buff. And 𝘂𝗔,
and 𝘂𝗔, very low, he burns down! 𝘂𝗔! He's playing like he wants a pay raise!
𝘂𝗔 is hard inting this game from start to finish. He's 0-3 on 𝘀𝗶. He's invading against pressure, against bot lane reset, and immediately gets punished. Good roam from 𝘁𝗏 to reinforce his team on the top side. They're actually 3-on-3 here, but 𝘂𝗔 makes his way down there to 𝘂𝗔 is level 4 to 𝑚eliodas level 6, so it's a numbers disadvantage now with 𝘁𝗏 and 𝘁𝗏 arriving, and 𝘂𝗔 is not even really a number you can count, so it's basically a 4v2 with 𝘂𝗔 completely focused on taking down the blue buff, and level 4 𝘀𝗏 from behind doesn't do anything anyway. It's another free kill, this time going over to, I believe, 𝑚eliodas again, yeah, with the burn.
Yep.
So 𝑚eliodas is super strong. He can just live in the enemy jungle for free now. 20 CS ahead, a level ahead, 2 levels ahead even, so.
There's another gank down to the spot side. There's the center W landing, but unfortunately they were a little bit too far back. 𝑚eliodas couldn't catch. But 𝘀𝗏 in a dominating position here. 2k gold ahead. I'd love to get a center soul check, but we haven't seen that in a little while, unfortunately. Should be doing pretty well. What souls are you aiming at for this stage of the game, Yulwei? You play a lot of this.
So in a double ADC composition where you get early killed, I think you would be happy with.
But is 𝘂𝗏 just going to die? No, there's no shockwave.
Yep.
Oh, he is going to die anyway.
What
is going on in this game? 𝘂𝗔, he needs to get on out of there, and no chance did not have the big barrel. He goes down, and SBTC have collapsed.
Yeah, it's a complete reverse from the last game. This time 𝘀𝗏 looking crisp, looking clean, decisive, nowhere to go for. Ooh, wow, 𝘀𝗀 has the anti-magnet. How do you call it when the magnet is on the wrong side? It's all his hooks go to slightly to the side.
Repellent.
He's not connected. Repellent. There we go. And how did this happen?
𝘂𝗏 gets shockwaved, and yeah, he just doesn't have any cooldowns left up.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗏 just chasing him down. Yeah, easily done.
Clockwork wound up. We do have a little bit of a pause. Hopefully production is here. I'm not sure if he was in the bathroom, but if not, you'll be looking at some Vietnamese fellas. If he is here, you'll be looking at us. Hopefully, for the sake of our audience, I hope it's our production AFK. They're much more handsome fellas over on the Vietnamese stream. But this is a really, really impressive comeback. The mental reset from 𝘀𝗏 after the absolute disaster of Game 1.
Can say that again. That is quite impressive to come back like that. We're back in game. 𝘂𝗔 has been helping 𝘀𝗏 to come back. Maybe still some memories, some reminiscing of his old days on Team 𝘀𝗏. Won the title just a year back on the scene.
We go back in, and it is going to be the dragon being taken, the first Ocean Drake for 𝘀𝗏.
2 souls for free for 𝘁𝗏. Always go to the dragon when you play center. Usually I'm not a big advocate of helping dragon, because in my opinion the jungler should be able to do that themselves, especially if the bot lane gives vision control over to him. So in this case though, always go there, just collect the 2 souls. And yeah, you can give your jungler a heal too. So to go back to the soul discussion on 10 minutes in a pro game where you're behind from early on, I think you should be looking at 40, 45, something like that.
I don't think they were behind though, they were ahead.
I mean, they got double kills early on, so he wasn't able to aggressively trade, which is most of the souls in laning phase early on.
That is true.
Now he got caught, and now he might die.
Yeah, but he does go gold, so he is going to try and get away. The last shots from the minigun will ring out. 𝘂𝗏 can't trade back. It's still 𝘁𝗏 after all. But 𝑚eliodas is here. This is Big Bad Udi, the Big Bad Bear, charging on in the flay, the hook. But he hasn't actually hit anyone yet, so he wasn't taking tower aggro for ages. He finally does, but it's too late. The support's dead. Now they just have to evacuate against Rocket Girl, and she's got no mana, so she can't fire her arsenal.
Still a decent situation. Zero's very low. It's got... 𝘀𝗏 is gone. He's a fast little dinosaur. Yijin is here, but he's only level 7, so I'm not sure if he can do anything. So in the end, not the most effective gank. Meliodas trying to make it top of Victor. But Victor, one of the best defensive champions into Udyr, can just drop the gravity field and then just walk away. Very easy for him to get out of there, but maybe not so easy against 3,
is
though.
Coming in. There's a shockwave. The lantern, though, is good enough. Senna Thresh, ancient adversaries. Oh, Yoshino has to belly bop. Does he have access to the barrel? He does not.
That's
he has his flash, though, as Meliodas charging forward. Yoshino needs to be careful. Not careful enough, and he might have killed Meliodas. As they're bearing forward, Slayer's here, throws the hook. It's a little bit short. Some healing for Udyr is not enough. Mistake from Yoshino.
And suddenly, the gold is almost equalized. Very good counterplays from SBTC. Bad misjudgment from Yoshino. Meliodas early on should have backed probably too after the bot lane dive. Instead, he tried to go to cheat tempo and go into mid lane to get another free kill. A very nice response from Slay to prevent that from happening. And then, just looking at the map, Udyr without a reset on half HP. So definitely a big tempo disadvantage there compared to the very far behind Olaf. But he was full HP, full mana. So he had the first move, got the initiative on Yoshino. And Yoshino, you have to say it, misplayed this situation once again. Shouldn't have turned around. This is a lot of damage on Zeros. So he did so much AoE damage, and with Meliodas coming in, SPTC is scared to proceed. But then Yoshino turns around too quickly.
To be fair to Yoshino, that looked like it was Meliodas' call. It looked like he was calling turn. But in the end, it's Yoshino's decision.
Yep, I agree with that. Even if someone calls for a play, ultimately it's your decision if you want to partake or not, especially in something like a gank. If you just say, if you're the first to move, you always get the last decision with your movement. So even if someone else in your team says, go for it, I'm almost there, you have to make the final mechanic decision, the positioning decision of if you want to go right now, if you want to wait a split second longer. And right there, Yoshino made the wrong call for sure.
He did. So the gold is back to even. It's actually a slight lead to SBTC now. True tragedy. Has this top lane up falling apart a little bit as the Herald will now be summoned up, Nard into the wall, and Yoshino, you meant to throw the barrel, not drink it.
It's all the aftermath from the early play from Yoshino. It looked so amazing when he teleported to bot lane, but he overstayed his welcome. He stayed for another kill. They got another kill, but in the end, he ended up being 50 CS down in the long run, with the teleport being invested for lane pressure for Zeros 2. The matchup already being kind of Zeros focused earlier on. Now with AP Gragas, it usually wins into Gnar, but not if he's this far behind in experience. So yeah, just the aftermath of the first early bot lane play. And he can't double down for more bot lane plays because he needs experience. He's level 9. He's on the same level as his AD carry. Yeah.
As the mid lane is getting fonked down, the rocket launcher firing. Only a few minions left. Oh, Parquet! The Parquet special! Luckily for him, the Super Mega Death Rocket did not go well. 𝘀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝘀 flies into the backside, has a Senna ult to cover him, but it's not quite enough. But Senna herself has now arrived, the second ADC. Yoshino redeems himself with a barrel, good kill, and Flash firing back hard.
I was very close to actually losing on the game there. Parquet with oversteps, very bad positioning, once again gets caught by 𝘀cie. Actually walked into the gravity field stun, which opened himself up for the follow-up stun from Zeros. But the tower definitely helping Flash and coming back. Oh no, Yijin.
That was the laziest steal I've ever seen.
Meliodas
just didn't have smite. He just didn't have it.
Look at this overcommitment again. Parquet with really bad positioning into the gravity field. As you can see here, just presses his R while still in the gravity field, gets stunned, barely avoids the Gnar stun. Then very good play from 𝘁elle, and I guess from 𝘀cie too, very aggressive from 𝘀cie, but he knew he had the follow-up railgun damage from 𝘁elle, and 𝘁elle picking up another kill. So 2 kills over to the big carries, the 2 ADCs now on Kraken Slayer, the Kraken duo.
Yeah, hopefully
we're getting there. It's not looking too bad for Flash.
They are. It is getting there. 500 gold down, but that is literally entirely top lane. if there's ever a fight that 𝗀 doesn't participate in, 𝘀liche is actually very far ahead, even if 𝘀ragus isn't there either. Still don't have a center soul count. Come on. First rule of observing in League of Legends, if there's a center on screen, please click on her.
Yeah, all the time, please. We want to see.
Just drill that. 𝘂ros not able to clear out that control ward quite yet, as he did go into melee form.
And I think one of the observers is probably a center fan, likes to play center, and because VCS is always playing farming center, he just doesn't. He just can't stand it. He just can't look there. It's like 26 souls after lane phase. Nah, I just can't. It's impossible. I feel you.
Save the mood. 𝘂ros and 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗋 having a bit of a scrap up on the top side. 𝘂ROS winning out for now, but 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗋 does a lot of damage over time and clears the way for Parquet to push his wave up. But now it's turning onto Yoshino. Ragnarok and roll as they go under tower. The stride is broken. The axes are thrown, as is the keg. But the Zhonya's is there in time, or should I say the stopwatch. 𝑌iJin does not time his axe well enough at all. Yoshino survives, but they should get this tower on the next wave, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
I think 𝑌iJin's shutdown is the freest 300 gold extra I've ever seen. This has been one of the worst performances for 𝑌iJin all split, and he's somehow sitting on a 300 gold shutdown, so that's some free money over for 𝘀liche if they ever care to collect it, especially if the bot lane is present. Doubles Krakenslayer is going to melt through that HP bar in no time whatsoever. A very strange game. I'm not quite sure how to look at this. It feels like 𝘀liche has been playing like the better team, more coordinated, more cohesion overall in the team play, but SPTC is still the stronger laners. CS advantages in every single lane, especially 50 CS in the top lane. And the gold, very, very even. In fact, SPTC, with 3 kills down, still 1k gold ahead. And we have the hyper carry of hyper carries on this patch, Jinx, 5 kills, 8.6k gold. She's quietly scaling up to be the biggest threat in the whole game.
Yeah, she is getting very, very frightening. We'll just have to see if they can actually enable her. It's not going to be super easy. There's going to be a fair bit of dive onto the back line with the 𝘁cie, with the Udyr, with the potential railgun covering fire.
Early stopwatch build for her, so she wants to be protected from Yoshino's engage, most likely. It's the most dangerous thing that can hit her from afar. So would like to see her focus on the Yoshino flank, maybe try to...
This is actually inting observing. They haven't clicked on center once.
Yeah,
it's
infuriating. I hate it so much.
I'm getting so mad.
Please, just show us the
Click
count.
on the center. She is the only one who is interesting to look at her stat bar. Come on.
Yeah, if I had to guess, we should be above 60, maybe slightly, maybe not quite at 80. Probably something like 70 souls right now, I would guess. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit more. Yeah, should be looking at 80 soon. Usually, you want to build the, I like to call it butter knife.
Teleport coming in as the kill is there. The free is 300 gold, you did say. Did look pretty free for 𝘀liche to pick up. On the other side, 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗋 zoning off DR1, but he has to deal with the Chaos Storm as Baron enters the field. Yoshino, he's here. He goes in. Belly bop. Shockwave on top of him. He might pay for it, but it's a 1-for-1. Not too bad. 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗋's on the other side, soloing out 𝘂ROS. 𝘁𝘀cid jumps in front of the rocket to defend his team, and they're just going to turn this into the newly arrived Baron. Why not? They won the fight. Celebrity is scary. If he gets excited, he can win this entire fight. The Shroud makes things hard, and 𝘁𝘀cid going into the backside. They are focusing on Slay. They kill him immediately. Celebrity's the next target.
Oh,
the 1-for-1 is fine. The 1-for-1 is fine. This allows them to still get the Baron. Shutdown comes in. They have center to heal 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗋. It's a Baron buff for 𝘀liche. And who would have expected this after game 1?
Yeah, and it just came like I thought it would come, with 𝑌iJin playing one of his worst games of all time on this Olaf. He just ran in, got it absolutely wrecked by the 2 Krakenslayer ADCs. They just annihilated him. He stood there for like 2 seconds and was dead. And then it was the whole fight without the jungler. Look at 𝑌iJin here, coming in from the side. Okay, we have another fight in the picture-in-picture.
We do,
Let's focus on the replay. No, never mind. No focus on replay.
SBTC picked up the Dragon, and now Meliodas trying to get out of the Chaos Storm, but still land a stun. Does enough. 𝘁𝗏𝗋 gets the kill. And they're going to keep on chasing. That Glacial Augment doing well, slowing Yijin up, and now 𝘂𝗏. He's scary. He has a full Nahbar, and Flash will just disengage the fight.
Would have thought Senna is a good champion, outranging absolutely everything on the enemy team.
Crazy stuff.
Absolutely ridiculous. No one could have.
I never want to see her play it again. Yeah, with these observers though.
That's true. I want to see the soul count. She just went back to base and bought a full-on Rage Blade. Yeah. Holy moly! She had 2 daggers into Ginzos. That is insane. That's 1,200 gold sitting on the support, plus another dagger, plus another pink ward. So she was super.
𝘁𝗏 jumps forward.
Yeah, that's the Olaf, by the way, so that's not supposed to happen. This Olaf is not a champion right now. He's going to get absolutely annihilated in every single fight, and I don't really see a way back for SPTC right now. There's such a huge range advantage. I guess the late game team fight fantasy for the 2 late game carries could be there. They need some more time to scale. The Victor is only sitting on 1.5 items, and the second item is defensive, so this Victor needs some time, needs some kills. He is barely even finishing his evolutions, should be sitting close to his 3rd evolution, or just completed his 3rd evolution. Not quite sure, these numbers. But yeah, the Jinx, the only hope, is she's relatively close to the IE completion. And maybe IE Jinx with some nice AoE crits on the 2 backliners.
It's going to be very, very difficult. They are sieging in. 𝘁𝗏𝗋 charges. They've still got the Baron buff as well. Always fun when there's a Rift Herald and a Baron for the same team.
Some Nexus Blitz going on here.
Yeah, I think 𝘁𝗏𝗋 should get like an extra arm or something. She like gets to be able to like grab people. She's like, you.
That sounds really scary. Please no.
That'd be cool. Doesn't happen very often.
𝘁𝗏𝗋 just turns into the old Zac ultimate and teleports everyone that sits on top of her back into your team. That would be fun. I want that ult back in the game, but Slay getting caught. Oh, 𝘂𝗏𝗋 with
𝘂𝗏𝗋 doing well there. They're going to try and turn this around. Yoshino is the only one to fall at the moment. Oh, there we go, though. Shockwave railgun combo. Bang, bang, bang. Meliodas goes forward, just gives everyone the little slaps, bit of spankos as they go forward. 𝘂𝗏𝗋 escapes to his tower.
Should be Inhibitor. Not quite the game, I think. 30 seconds, though. There's a wave. I think Inhibitor should be enough. They firmly outscale this composition most of the time, if not for the miracle Jinx teamfight. But so far, Jinx hasn't been able to do anything in these teamfights, so Flash can be happy with this Inhibitor. Baron into then Final Siege should probably be the way to go here. We still have no idea about the soul count. We should be hitting 120 soon in terms of fighting involvement and just the overall state of the game. So I think 120 should be what we're looking at for the Senna right now. But yeah, this engage from 𝘂𝗏𝗋 is kind of a last-ditch effort. He sees the opportunity. Flash ultimate. It's not bad, but it's a little too late, especially with the follow-up being Olaf just immediately melting down, not even hitting any damage. There's just too much range from 𝘁𝗏𝗋, from 𝘀𝗀𝗃. 𝘀𝗃 didn't even use his ult at the start of the fight. He was still able to use the ult later on. Good to see a VCS 𝘁𝗏𝗃 actually holding on to their ult key for more than 2 milliseconds in a team fight. So some restraint shown from 𝘀𝗃. Not something we associate too much with this player. We have Flash looking revitalized, and I think we're firmly heading into Game 3 here.
Yeah, I think so. The continued mystery of Senna's soul count. Still going. Oh my god, it's annoying.
It's really annoying, I agree.
It makes me so angry.
I would really like to see. Yeah, I think we're approaching 140, which is a lot. So
yeah, it's a lot. She's doing well.
140
I'd like to know exactly
is
how much.
7 evolutions, which means 175 bonus range, 775, which is more than Jinx can ever have. I think we're basically at that point. Maybe between 120 and 140 is what we're looking at. Yoshino, nice little play on 𝘂𝗏𝗋.
Has to be careful. He doesn't win that 1v1 in the long term. Yoshino, partially bad plays on his side, partially sacrificing himself for the team. She's right there. She picked up a soul.
Nope. So maybe there's some observer setting where you can never click on the supports, because I feel like we've also never seen Thresh focused.
I actually know what it is, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be mean. I'll tell you in the break, because I know exactly what they're doing. I'll tell you in the break. Rakan, very angry as well. Takes after my mood perfectly. Baron is back on the map. Flash are in full control. 5k gold lead. Not a huge gold lead for this stage of the game, but you've also got to look at their champions, and the lead is pretty immense.
Yeah, their team fighting composition is so strong. The main target for SPTC now is to teleport for Zeros, but it might just be too late. I really like this from Flash. Just force the issue as soon as possible. Give the enemy team no time to react.
Ooh, the rocket. Well done. They don't allow it to hit. They stopped hitting the Baron because he can't outdo the smite. Oh, but there's Meliodas. He doesn't steal it away. Sorry, Yijin doesn't steal it away. My mistake as Yoshino gets hooked, but Meliodas charging forward. Slay using him as an escape as the railgun gives a lot of shields. There's the big barrel. They try and get forward onto Zeros. He's the stride breaker, but they need to get onto Celebrity and Dia1. Those are the targets that matter.
Yeah, now actually look at the map positioning. Flash immediately running towards top side. This should be a free turret for 𝘀cie and 𝘁𝗀𝗀, while the rest is resetting to defend the mid lane onslaught from SPTC. Good 𝘀𝘀 was a little dicey. I don't quite like what they did there in the end, opening it up to a 50-50, especially against Olaf, who always has the double true damage combo. This is not pleasant to look at. Please go away.
Look how good the observers are. They can do a pointless split screen, but can't click on center.
Yeah. Very true. Well, it's another Baron, and this Baron should really close up the game. This Baron should open up both side lanes for Flash to freely take whatever they like. You do not want this fight, Yijin. You really do not want this fight.
No.
Angry Turtle Man is way too scary.
With the rest of the team coming in, he has to retreat to the blast cone, pop himself over, and get out of there. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the next dragon, the next objective. Still a minute and a half on the Baron.
SPTC does not need to contest this next dragon. So SPTC, in terms of items...
That steal, where he walked up and took it, actually coming in clutch.
For sure. So SPTC's main objective right now is to give Dia1 as much experience, as much farm as possible. He needs level 16. He needs his 3rd item for the next big team fight, because the big spike has been hit by Celebrity. He is sitting on IE. He would like a little bit of pen, but I think Flash is not giving them the time. I really like how Flash is really forcing as soon as possible.
Tower down.
Yeah,
Barrel was used. Dia stunned up. It's just Meliodas. Has to kite back out. The inhib stands, at least until the next wave.
So Palettal low, he can of course always heal up with Q. Takes a little bit of time.
I'm just going to choose to say he's at 500 souls. Yeah, he's at 500.
That would look a little different.
Prove me wrong, observers. Prove me wrong. As they do take out that first inhib, they move over to the mid lane. There's a big shockwave onto 2. No follow-up, just the structure damage. But SBTC are getting picked apart. They're getting dismantled. And Flash are looking unstoppable in this game as Celebrity gets stunned, steps way too far forward. Guardian Angel does not do anything for ADCs. It's bad.
Yeah.
Dia1 will manage to take out one of the ADCs, but there's still another one to deal with. 𝘀𝘀 is terrifying. He is ripping them apart. He moves over. Dia1 disassembled. The revolution will be stopped. Absolutely ruined. SPTC Zeros, he needs the movement speed from teleport. He's going to go forward. 𝘀𝘀 actually really low. If he gets this kill, he can hold. Zeros, the play. Oh my god. No way. Does he get another kill here? No, surely
nah,
not.
I don't
He goes
think
down, but he holds the base.
Yeah, no mana.
He held the base.
No mana for Orianna, no mana for the others either, and they're so low. They could have tried to finish, but Celebrity up in 6 seconds, so They delay it another time. In the end, they only lose the 2 inhibitors, a few kills here and there, a big shutdown for Dia1. He used all his tools in his arsenal, no summoner spells available anymore, but if this brings him to another item and to level 16, there might actually be some hope left for SPTC. Look at the items from Celebrity, he's well and truly online, he's very strong. He needs a little bit of PAM.
So they clicked on Thresh, 52 souls for Thresh. Will they click on Senna? I care more about that than who wins this game at this point.
Senna's itemization is just really bad right now, by the way. She should definitely go for Pen here as the last item instead of another Zeal item. I'm not sure where she wants to go there. Maybe heal reduction, but even then. No, I think Senna should definitely go Lord Dominic's Regards last item here in this game.
I agree.
You have to remember...
a lot of armor being built.
Yeah, and you have to remember...
She did it! 135! 135 souls, everyone! They clicked on her! They've done it!
Okay, that's a little less than I would have thought with all the kills going over to her. But Palette missed a few in the early game. I think his early game was very slow in terms of soul stacking. 5 away from 140, which would be the 775 range I talked about before. That's 4 left. Not
Very
quite as
close,
strong as
though.
I thought, but still a very strong champion. And she has extra range, of course, with her item, the Rapid Fire Cannon coming in.
They are setting up the siege on this final tower. SBTC have to move resources over to take out the super minions, of course. Palette should be moving up to that 170 very soon.
Not quite enough to outrange turrets. She needs a few
Not
more.
yet.
Yeah, you need 180.
But it's a
to do
lot of
that.
damage.
So still quite far away from that. It's decent poke on the turret. They can't really siege without the Baron too easily, though. And the enemy team with Jinx and Victor has no problem whatsoever to defend against the incoming super minion waves. So the siege is not too easy. I think they have to turn for another Baron. Baron number 3 for Flash. This needs to open up all 3 inhibitors, and then the game should be secured with the Infernal Soul in 3 minutes. So it's a very easy to understand plan. Also easy to understand for SPTC. But do they have any tools to stop this plan? I don't think they can contest the Baron.
No.
Their final fight might
they
be...
can launch a rocket, but they don't do that.
Yeah, I think the final fight might just be at the top lane inhibitor turret. Or maybe, if they can defend that somehow without throwing the lives, the bodies at them. If they can somehow manage that, they have to fight for the soul. Because Infernal Soul on this big damage-focused team composition is just too much to deal with.
It's hard for SBTC. I'm not sure how they could ever come back from this one. But it is not over, and that Jinx is terrifying. I can't count them out while the Jinx exists, even though by all logical reasons I should.
GA is not off cooldown, very crucially, and both flashes down for Dia and Celebrity. They really do not want to fight. They might even choose to give up the inhibitor to have their last stand at the Dragon Pit. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do here. Yeah, without the flashes on the carries, I think that's actually a decent decision, even though you say 3 inhibitors against Baron is almost 100% a lost game.
But they're just going to go in. They're just going to try and end this one as the tower goes down. The range siege is beginning. Ball being repositioned. Can they get this last bit of damage? They've just got to clear out these last few minions. There's the rocket. There's the death laser. One wave is cleared, and Inhib respawns, the shortest life of an Inhib I've seen in a long time. And Flash
and the
wants
next one
to end.
That's a big crit on Div Kids.
They're going forward. Dia1 dealing a lot of AoE damage. This is it. SBTC make their final stand. Celebrity funking in the rockets. He gets excited. He goes down. That's game. Put it in the books. We're going to game 3.
Here we go. Finally, Flash able to find the important engage. It took them some while to close out the game. Their bottom tier team, we have to say it again, a better team would have cleaned this game out much more easily. I mean, in the end, what counts are the 50 gold for the Nexus, and that's what they collect. Flash, even out the series, as we all expected, and we head into game 3. I have no idea who's going to come out on top. I think SPTC so far has looked a little bit better, but it's just one game, and who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows? We'll be back in about 10 minutes to find out the thrilling conclusion of VCS Ball Z. Don't go anywhere.
simple. Drop a rock into the water, watch it ripple. Tides turn quick, just keep your head on a swivel. Competition getting stiff, I'm here to make it wiggle. You know me, surround your whole town, make you yell siege. All-star, homie, this the king's speech. You can lock it down, we gon' still preach. Boy, preach. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Boy, you already know I'm the real wonder. Boy, I bring the storm, you gonna feel thunder. So your body count is up there with killmongers. How about you come take a look at some real numbers? Might just double up on you while I still slumber. I'm the living proof, I'm just coming through for the thrill of it. Room full of all-stars, we all guys. Somebody gotta be Zeus, I'll take charge. Fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Positive, negative, I'll take charge and shake odds, remain great while I pay homage. They always said that pressure can make diamonds, so keep climbing all the way up, that's where you'll find me. Right next to the legends, I go off my brethren, said goodbye to the old me. I'ma make sure that you know me. After this here, you gon' owe me. Didn't choose a game, it chose me. You know what G-O means to an OG, let's go. Fight, who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Yeah, get your back off the wall. Come on, yep, come one, yep, come on. Get up, yep, get your back off the wall. Come on, yep, come one, yep, come on.
I hear the sound that goes beneath angels and skylines meet, and I'm straining to reach the light on the surface, light on the other side. I feel the pages turning, I see the candle burning down. What you gonna do now? It's your reflection looking back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today and make it out alive? You gotta conquer a monster in your head, and then you'll fly like Phoenix fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons and tear down the ceiling, feed them fly. And now you're playing with matches, come out of the ashes underneath you. A million voices in the crowd, they're screaming. Well, let them swallow the pride, just turning the tides. True believers, got them in the palm of your hand, you're playing. Call them. What you gonna do now? It's your reflection looking back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today or make it out alive? You gotta conquer a monster in your head, and then you'll fly like Phoenix fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons and tear down the ceiling, Phoenix fly. So are you gonna die today or make it out alive? You gotta conquer a monster in your head, and then you'll fly like Phoenix fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons and tear down the ceiling, Phoenix fly.
Welcome back, everybody. I just told a really good joke. That's why Marby's just running back. Flash won the game. We're in game 3. Welcome to the VCS English analyst desk. And Marby, what was your take on game 2?
Jungle diff. Jungle diff happened, and it happened hard in the early game. As the game went
Kind
on
of ditched
and on,
himself, though, right? Was the jungle div done by 𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 or by Yijin? I'm not
I mean,
sure.
we definitely had a lot of Yujin inting it away, but it was a lot of it was a good start coming out from 𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 punishing the early gank by wrapping around and targeting Yujin on the blue buff. And from there, just sort of, if there were a lot of mistakes from Yujin, that's for sure, but got to give credit to 𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 in some respect, because he absolutely popped off, got a lot of things rolling for his team, and then when it came to late game, he stood around and made sure 𝘀𝘀𝗃 had the space needed to be the big carry.
For sure.
Yeah, it was a pretty fantastic performance. And do either of you want to try and make an analytical prediction for game 3?
SPTC is go ahead, Spoods, go ahead.
Anything.
That's just a brief look at what we thought before the game, but we are heading into Champion Select for the final game.
So, I think a
hard
big
to
part of
call.
this,
It's
a lot of
impossible
this
to
comes
call,
down
honestly.
to draft. It all comes down to draft. The draft from SBTC was much better in the first game than Flash's. They ended up stumping really hard. The second time around, both drafts were pretty even, but Flash had a lot more comfort for what they had. Plus, they actually bothered to breed passion notes and pick center, and that really came in clutch as the game progressed. So I think.
𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀,
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean to you because you're only here for the pick and bans, but honestly, I don't think pick and bans don't matter in the slightest for this matchup. I think it's all about what the teams actually do on the Rift, because there's no rhyme or reason to anything these two teams are doing the whole split. So I think it honestly doesn't matter at all. But of course, we can look at the drafts holistically from League of Legends fans and just say, yeah, this is a good draft, or this is what this team should do. But honestly, in terms of results, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Let's be real. I think I could honestly do both of your job for this draft. You guys can just go have a break, because all I can just sit here just going unga bunga unga bunga unga bunga unga bunga, and it would be about as relevant as true analysis of the draft phases, because they haven't mattered. Tristana first pick, I actually like. Tristana has been consistently pretty great so far, but it does give some power picks over to Flash.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think going for something like the Olaf is the way to go for the jungle position. It's not
Go Thresh,
a
please.
lot,
Go Thresh.
but Thresh
You
would
have
be
to
a
go
very-
Thresh. Please go Thresh. Oh, I'm so scared. No, SPTC is going to get Tristana Thresh as a bot lane, and 𝘀𝗏 is going to pick an enchant and just end the whole game away. Please, please, just go Thresh. No.
Drawing some conclusions there. As, my camera's frozen. I'm just trying to fix that.
Okay. However, it's Meliodas getting his pick of junglers first. That's gonna mean Yijin is probably gonna end up defaulting to something like the Skarner.
Yep.
The
Maybe
set
Gragas
pick,
in the jungle.
that is also an option. But this set pick would be interesting.
Maybe they watched some top from earlier today.
We'd assume it's going into the support position for Slay. Big fan of that pick after all, but
Yeah, it's the two biggest support set players of the league, I'd say. Slay against 𝘀𝗏. Still feel like Thresh is the better pick here. Just Thresh, Tristana. The enemy team can't deny the Tristana engage with Thresh, so it's very hard for you to deal with that. I kind of feel like Thresh is just the superior choice, but I guess denying the set from 𝘀𝗏 can be a good move here. I really like this Gragas flex. This can still go in 3 positions, because the set can also still go into mid or even top lane. So far, quite happy with both sides of the drafts. I would have preferred Thresh for Flash to just pick away, but maybe they just knew more than I, and they knew the enemy team would not go for the Thresh anyway. So far working out in either team's favor. I think both are pretty happy.
I think the main one I would change for the Thresh is that 𝘁cie pick, because I think AD carries have a lot. There are a lot deeper pool of good AD carries than there are junglers.
Agreed.
So securing that Olaf makes a lot of sense. 𝘁cie all in on the comfort. They don't want that to be
No fight
a
ban.
problem for them. Now, banning the Malphite is, in my opinion, the wrong move, because opening up that tank potential is really strong for SPTC here, because they have the set that they can flex into a tank if they need to.
I think they want to bait the 𝘁𝗏 pick here, because 𝘁𝗏 does not do well into Malphite, so maybe they want to tease the enemy team and say, hey, you have Yoshino, you want to play 𝘁𝗏, we're banning away the Malphite, so go for the 𝘁𝗏. Or maybe they just want to play the 𝘁𝗏 themselves, who knows?
Mel is bad.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm wrong. Well, a lot of AD champs don't like to play into Malphite, to be honest. I think 𝘁𝗏 is one of the hardest matchups for the AD bruisers, but maybe they wanted to go for the Jace. If that's the case, good spot for Flash here to ban the Jace away as well. 𝘁𝗏.
Grabbing a support pick here, I believe,
Yeah,
is
makes sense.
It's definitely the correct move. I also wouldn't have minded something like Braum, but 𝘁𝗏 very good up against the set, in my opinion. So if I'm
Scary
SPTC,
into Tristana, in my opinion, because 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀, you can deny him his exit of the fight quite easily if you just stand on top of him, so you can't Justice Punch away. So I feel like the 𝘀𝗀, yeah, it's pretty good into both champions in isolation. If you ever get the leg up in lane and if you can just engage on the 𝘀𝗀, maybe you wait for his aftershock to trigger and then go in, it's very hard for him to get away. So I feel like the 𝘀𝗀 can be scary here for Colette.
Alright, so since this isn't very interesting, here's what I would have liked SBTC to do. Pick 𝘀𝗰𝗏 there, leave the Gragas and Set as interchangeable between top and support, so that way Colette has a much harder time picking Yoshino has a much harder time picking a counter pick, because then he has to deal with something that can go into either of those two picks. Now he just gets to say, oh, I'm up against a nut, I can pick whatever, and it's looking to be the on.
Yeah, on or cannon to Yoshino stable picks, of course. He tried the cannon in the first matchup of these two teams, failed miserably. The on, something he played a lot in the finals and the semifinals last year on their way to victory, on their way to championship, so he's definitely familiar with this one. It's not very pleasant to play on into Na. You basically get annoyed from minute one. He just kites you forever. He has so much AD, AP damage, the hyper gets annoying, so not a cool lane to play for Yoshino. He needs to stay in lane a little bit longer this time though, because he needs to hit level 13. Last game, it was still a good move, I guess, to teleport into bot lane, really decide the bot lane early on, but he was so far behind. This can't happen again here.
Yeah, it definitely can't. I like that the Gragas jungle is still an option in the VCS. Obviously, it's not really a thing, in the rest of the world, but players like Yijin and particularly Levi still do pull it out over here. That AP Gragas just coming in, one-shotting people from the jungle. I still enjoy watching it. I actually think he's a really fun jungler to watch.
Gragas is my favorite
The
jungle.
Flash E is a super fun thing. He should be in jungle, where he belongs. In the end, I actually think both teams have walked away pretty happy with their draft. I'm obviously never super happy to see Syndra. I don't think she's a very good pick at the moment. But Dia 1 on Syndra, okay, fine, I'll take it. That's worth.
Yeah, we
He's
like
very
that.
good. He's very good. But Flash at the same time are looking pretty good. So, 𝘀𝗶𝗶, you get the last word, and you got to pick who's winning the series.
Man, it's a really tough call. I think when it comes down to this, I'm just gonna have to default to my original predictions and say SBTC 2-1.
Fair enough. It's a safe bet. We'll have to have a look at the game. It's me and Yulwei bringing you all the action here.
So, 𝘀𝗀𝗏, back to his number 1 champion, back to his Orianna. Had a very good early game last game. His late game team fighting left some definitely something to be desired. His shot
It wasn't really
waves
making
later on.
shockwaves.
Yeah, that's true. But I think his game overall was still pretty good, and honestly, the shockwaves didn't matter too much. So he was just fishing for a few picks here and there. Maybe should shift his attention more to overall teamfight control than making a single pick on one isolated target, which is something I think 𝘀𝗏𝗏 is going for a little bit too much. But remember, you got the solo kill on Dia 1 in mid lane early on in the game. Something not a lot of people could have said last year. Oh, this is a dangerous invade counter.
The late invade. There are 4 here for both teams, but SBTC want nothing to do with it. Fair enough.
Did you see
Against the
Scatter?
𝘀𝗀𝗏. Fair enough. Against the 𝘀𝗀𝗏, it's scary at level 1, so I don't necessarily blame them, but this slows down Yijin a lot.
And makes him accountable. So now Yijin will start with the blue buff. Can he avoid the 3 buff by going into the enemy red side? I don't think so. This Olaf should be able to just sprint up to his own red buff and go triple buff. The 𝘀𝗀𝗏 jungle would be something. The Gragas is generally much slower on the first clear anyway, so the Olaf shouldn't even lose time for the 𝘀𝗏𝗏𝗏 race. So
Yeah, he's doing it. This is the correct
just a
call for
very good play
Valiant.
from Flash. Once again showing us why late invading is always superior to early invading.
I mean, look, that you could run this if you took the nameplates off. I would think you were just playing me the 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀 game where they did exactly that. B&J did exactly that and set him up to carry the game. Yeah, set. He's got big hands, man. Brass knuckles on.
Yeah, and engaging on set level 2 most of the time doesn't actually favor you, because he just hit him with 170 true damage. I don't think any other champ can deal 170 true damage on level 2. Is there another one? I don't think so.
Not true.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So Yijin hitting level 3 here. He's trying to go for topside control, topside scuttle. He gave up on potentially going for the enemy red buff. He should know that there's nothing for him to achieve. Yeah, he's trying to wrap around for an early gank, and this is very good positioning.
Yeah, this is a double stun. 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀 has no counterplay. He uses the flash, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Close.
Very close. He goes down, first blood secured, flash blown, and that sets SBTC up very nicely.
And I love to see it. So much ingenuity there from Yijin. I always point out that the junglers, they like to play PvE all the time because it's the easiest way. It's the most consistent way of playing. You know what you're going to get from the... you know what resources are available. So if you get an early PvE advantage, like Meliodas did here, you don't really want to deviate. You just want to go for PvE the whole game. Because you know, if both sides go for PvE, you're always going to come out on top. Especially also in the clear speed here. So it's always on the other side, it's always on the jungler that is behind to find some ingenuity, to find some creative path and come up with a way to get back into the game. This was perfect. Yijin avoiding the ward and coming from behind to secure the early first blood in mid lane.
Tier 1 moving over, getting a stun on Meliodas, and 𝘬 bearing down means that Olaf has to just instantly flash over the wall. Uses that resource early, did secure the 3 buff, but without a flash, probably doesn't want to be ganking, particularly not any risky games.
This is very, very good counterplay to falling behind early in the jungle. It's so important to be able to keep up in tempo in the jungle in this meta right now. It's all about the jungle in the early game. And SBTC has defended and found some very good ways to get back into the game. They got Yijin back to level 4. He absorbed a few wave experiences there for the mid lane, I would guess. But he also got the first blood, of course. And then moving your support up to prevent the enemy jungler from re-invading while he's still more powerful. Very nicely done. Regank mid lane, because there's no flash.
Yeah, he's just getting chunked out. This was just Yijin crossing the mid lane and wanting to get an opportunity to get onto some chickens, taking a lot of damage. Meliodas still doesn't have a flash, so no follow-up after that belly bop. Does defend the KFC.
Yeah, not sure why Yijin thought he could go for that. That was the first time I don't really like his movement after the early detriment to his own jungle pathing. 𝘬, W fully charged.
Yeah, but he didn't have to run forward there. Just loses his flash.
Both supports very aggressive today. 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀, we know it from 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀, we also kind of know it from 𝘬, but usually 𝘬's aggression is tempered and nicely calculated.
Oh dear. Oh no, Celebrity lives, and now with a teleport coming in, they're kind of faced with a bit of a devil's choice here. Can they try and turn on to someone who's low? I don't think so. 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 still has flash, actually. He's going to get out of here. 𝘬 can't get close enough to break any faces. And now with Meliodas entering... Oh, no. Has he gone too far forward? Oh, it's a good taunt onto 𝘂𝗏. 𝘂𝗏 couldn't quite make anything happen. And how did no one die?
So many misplays on my screen. I can't believe it. In the end, no one goes down. I think the conceptual plays from SBTC is still very good. Yijin sprinting towards top lane to defend and collect the experience there, to not make them go to waste, while his top laner is trying to go for a play in bot lane. But then it all doesn't really pay off, because, nothing comes with the bot lane teleport. And then Meliodas just sprinting into the minion wave into 3 enemies and realizing very quickly that maybe there wasn't the greatest decision he ever made. Luckily for him, 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀, smurfing the whole sequence there. Very good flash to get away, to activate his Nimbus Cloak, to sprint towards his turret. Then he goes back in and gets the perfect taunt to save his jungler. First time in a while, I really have to praise 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 for his play. Very nicely done here.
True. I haven't heard you praising 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 in a long time. I'm glad you've still got it in you, as Meliodas will steal away another camp. The red buff was secured by 𝘀𝗏. Nice to get it on SBTC, considering it's their buff, but it does not help 𝘀cie𝗰𝗋, who is still in dire straits. And I think they want that red buff. Because there's a dive being set up.
Look at the CS numbers. I think 𝘀cie𝗰𝗋 probably has less CS from his own jungle than the enemy jungler. It's a tragedy in the jungle. It's a massacre over there, and they really want this red buff. Wave is stacked. It's not stacked enough though. Tristana's so good at thinning the wave, so good at preventing dives. So this is something almost no other AD carry can do it.
Very risky to dive Tristana set when Tristana has
for
Buster
sure.
Shot.
And Ignite is available too. Yeah, it's super risky, but you need, if you want to go for it in the first place, you need 2 waves, a double stacked wave at least, to buy enough time. But yeah, Tristana just super good at thinning out the wave. She has passive wave clear with E and then active wave clear with E as well. So one ability able to manipulate waves in her favor, sometimes not in her favor. Sometimes we really hate the passive push. But yeah, in this situation when the attention is on your lane, it's very good to just be able to defend yourself against the incoming minion waves.
True, as 𝘀cie𝗰𝗋 did actually steal away a red buff. He's just slowly catching up in the PvE game as he starts up this Rift Herald as well. This will be a good fight back for SBTC in terms of the jungle position. They don't have to necessarily fight back on the rest of the map. They're actually doing very well as Dia1. Ding, 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 ding. He's back. He's on Syndra. He's getting solo kills.
2 levels late. 2 levels late. I am disappointed in you, Dia1. We're used to this being level 6 instant solo kill. No, I'm kidding. Still very good play from Dia1. He is the best Syndra by far in our league. Not even 𝘁𝗏 comes close. He is such a good player on this champion. Even though the champion is not great right now, its current state is definitely weaker than last year. Dia1 can still make it happen. And 𝘁𝗏 0-2 in the mid lane. Had to go for early magic resistance. Might even have to go for a Verdant Barrier first item, which means
I don't
his
think
real item spike. Go ahead.
Is that such a bad thing? If you have to go Verdant Barrier, the item's pretty cracked.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good item, especially on this patch. It's still the later first item, and especially if you want to go for a tier build, it basically means you're not relevant, especially on this champion in terms of damage. You can always add a little bit of utility, add choke control, and so on. But yeah, in terms of damage, Orianna is not going to be a champion until 25 minutes.
Oops, sorry, I just misclicked. I couldn't see the stream for a second. My bad. I'm back in.
This is trying to fish for another gank.
The setup is coming, but it's so hard. Tristana just clears waves so fast. How do you ever do a lane gank? 𝘁𝗏 trying to do a little bit of baity bait, but in the end, the fish gets off the hook. And he'll be going home empty-handed.
And 𝘁𝗏 is not used to being outshoved by the enemy AD carry, but Tristana can just do that.
Yeah.
Very safe from 𝘀𝗏, very good play, just reading the situation perfectly. Actually, looking back 2-3 minutes to the last red buff exchange, that was very smart. In hindsight, very smart move from SBTC. At the time, it looked like they completely abandoned their own jungler, taking away the red buff. But they knew that the jungle fight would not be in their favor, right? So they just sprinted toward the red buff, took it for the AD carry.
Slay's dead.
Let me talk, please, bot lane. Why are you doing this to me?
Never! No, we hate your accent. You're not allowed
Macro.
to speak.
They sniffed.
Ugh.
They sniffed the macro talk coming in. They didn't want to hear the macro talk. Okay, nothing about the red buffs. They didn't matter because we get a double 2v2 kill. 𝘁𝗏, really? Playing one of his best games in a long time. Nice to see. His game on Senna, very solid. Some oversteps, walking into one of the grabs in the bot lane comes to mind. And the late game was very good.
What happened here? Slay must have stepped up way too far.
And against the run of play, against the investment on the map, junglers on top side, your junglers on bot side, and you still die. That is really bad for the overall state of the game. Because also means the top side needs to be more careful. Wow. He just
dies. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. You don't have time to get the haymaker off.
I think he had time, but yeah, I think he didn't really anticipate this much damage, and it was hard to see how quickly he would be bursted down. I think 𝘀𝗏 got a full solo Q on him. Solo damage Q. That's a lot of damage. Even after nerfs for 𝘁𝗁, level 8 𝘁𝗁 still deals a lot of damage, plus Hail of Blades damage. Very nicely done.
Round 2.
Dangerous.
They want to slay, but manages to get the Super Saiyan hair and get out of there. Meliodas, once again, in the enemy jungle.
This will hurt. Oh. Half HP. This is super risky from Meliodas.
Arrives and he just off. It's a Syndra. You can't do that against a Syndra. He's just going to wander over, delivers it to 𝘁𝗀, who actually gets it. Wow.
This was the first red buff, his first own red buff he got. He stole away one enemy red buff, but this was his first own red buff. So congratulations, Region, finally able to find the red bramble back of his own jungle. Not long time no see.
Oh, that was really funny. Just the buffs on wheels.
Syndra interactions, man.
Oh, I love Syndra.
Look at top lane, though.
Remember when she used to get stuff for throwing certain buffs?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that.
You used to get mana if you threw blue. You used to put a burn on if you hit someone with red.
How broken is that?
There was a couple of other ones. I mean, it didn't actually come up that often because it wasn't like you got like 30 mana if you threw blue.
Yeah, fair enough.
How often does that matter? As the showstopper is used, 𝘁𝗁 shorts the Justice Punch a little bit. Now actually might be in some trouble as 𝘁𝗀 arrives and the statue is cracked down.
𝘁𝗁, I praised him too much. He could have tried to flash out of there. Probably has no way of escaping though against Tristana with flash available too, so at least he holds onto Summoner Spell, which can come in handy later on, but this will mean first turret also secured by Tristana. Quietly, they've been able to actually get, I think it was in a picture-in-picture, where they invested the Herald into bot lane, so setting up the two-step play, re-ganking bot lane to finally get ahead. Look at the goal totals. We were talking about this game as if it was a very close affair, but actually SPTC off to a great start, almost 4k gold ahead at 14 minutes.
Yeah, they're doing really well considering the deficit in the jungle CS. The fact that they're managing to be this far ahead is a fantastic performance out of SPTC. We haven't really talked about the top lane, but it is that 30 CS for the Gnar. Not surprising in the matchup, of course. That is pretty much bang on what we expect. Blast Cone used. Zeros not able to join any players. They are continuing to bully 𝘁𝗀. They now want to move over to stealing blues. They turn it off and just say, fine, we'll settle for a bit of crab. I've had crab legs, they're delicious, so don't blame them.
So after the last two games, I actually feel like Olaf is looking pretty bleak, pretty weak right now. Last game he just was sprinting into 280 carries and died before he could even hit one axe on them. This game he's super squishy as well. Look at this HP bar. He's not going to last very long. I think even 𝘁𝗀 could one-shot him, so kind of scared for this Olaf. He did get forced to flash, but now the counter engage.
God, 3-man knock up. Yoshino, long range, ensuring that SPTC cannot continue that fight. Well done.
I mean, bot lane had to flash. Both bot lanes had to flash away. So.
They didn't die.
Yeah, fair enough.
He did as much as he could. Yoshino couldn't have saved the flashes.
That's true. I want to point out that Zeros has actually just printed money in top lane. Wow, that's a lot of explosion damage. He went 𝘁 and the third, and I think 2 or 3 platings, so he is very far ahead in money compared to Yoshino, especially once he decides to actually sell the 𝘁.
Oh, Zeros is trying to get this solo kill. He gets it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed.
There's 2 forms of Yoshino Ornn. I'm sure you're familiar with both of them. It's game 4-0 and game 5-0. Do you remember what he did in game 4 of the summer final?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember what he did? He walked in 1v4 and lost them the game.
Yeah.
Do you remember what he did in game 5 of that same series?
Not really, but I remember he was very good.
He walked in 1v3 and won them the game.
Yep. Can happen. Ornn.
The 2 sides of the Yoshino Ornn coin.
And sadly, Ornn not quite as strong as he was last year, so
No.
maybe not in the same position. He needs so much more time to actually be tanky. A lot of people actually thought Ornn would be absolutely broken coming into the season, but the big problem for him is before, 2 items for On meant 3.5 items for any other tank. So on 2 items, On was, if not the strongest, one of the strongest champs, and definitely the strongest tanks in the game. Now On might be the strongest tank on 6 items, because he scales more and more with the items he gives out. But on 2 items, he's actually pretty squishy. He doesn't get all the extra HP he used to get before, all the extra stats from his own On upgrades.
I don't want to dirtle down the On path for too long, but I actually think it's much healthier design.
Oh, for sure.
In the super late game, he's the best tank in the game, one of the best champions in the game. But that level 13 power spike, where he just got 3,500 gold, was stupid.
Ooh,
and
good
he was
catch.
basically built around that. And speaking of stupid, oh no, 𝘀ette! He killed himself! He was going to get barreled away, but he justice punched and came back in. He goes down. 𝘁cie a little bit caught out, but goes gold. And now 𝘀eliodas has to just get on out of there. 𝘀 charging forward, has the fists locked and loaded, but it's just going to be a flash to punch 𝘁cie in the back of the head. But the robot doesn't care. It's 1 kill picked up by 𝘀cie, and they're looking good. 7k gold lead.
That was the most sad flash I've ever seen. Just flashing forward to E, and then he realized, wait, only E is not enough to kill them. Well, no flash for me. But yeah, he deserved to do that after this early game. I mean, I guess he got caught once in the lane, but that's fine. His team is very far ahead, and 𝘀cie, this is what we expected from 𝘀cie. Maybe less aggressive than what we thought looking at this roster, but still, lane domination, especially in the 2 solo lanes, a strong jungler to back it off with creative pathing, and then the stable bot lane scaling into the later stages of the game. This is what 𝘀cie stood for at the start of the season. This is what some people expected to be the #1 contender for the title, which they definitely are not anymore.
Who would have expected 𝘀cie to be the best team? Ha! What a fool. As 𝘂𝑚 getting run down. Does 𝘂𝑒ros want to go under the tower? Not with a flash away, but he does force the flash in the 1v1. This Ornn is getting doomstered.
So how about Flash? What did you predict for Flash at the start of the season? I think I remember some placing.
I don't know what you're talking about. As B1 will go down. Where did you have Saigon Buffalo? As the dragon pulled out. That's a cell phone. We had them in the same spot. Teleport up to the top side to save the inner tower. Risky stuff there from 𝘁𝗀, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't even get 𝘂𝑒ros though. Yeah, I mean
they're really trying to have their cake and eat it too. This is very aggressive, trying to go for 2 plays.
Okay, this is interesting. Oh, the Prey Seeker hits. That should be a kill.
That's a huge swing. It's a big shutdown.
Massive. Yeah. Wow. This working is huge.
Yeah, Flash. This was a Hail Mary play across the map. Usually a Hail Mary in League is just a big Baron teamfight, Baron contest, maybe a desperate Baron. This was a Hail Mary across the map, trying to go for 2 spots at the same time. They actually win both of these engages. Get a huge shutdown for Divkid, get the dragon, delay the dragon stacking, so they have actually bought so much time for themselves to just get to the on items, to get to the items for their carries too. Big shutdown for 𝘁𝗀 too, who suddenly is jumping out to his first item. So some hope. They are still 6k gold behind, but now we can see a way back into the game. We can actually envision a game state where this team could win.
We definitely can. This is by no means over. It is going to be a long, long road, of course. As we have the mythics being completed.
And for me, it's mostly Flash actually assigning lanes correctly now. They need to give 𝘁𝗀 farm. 𝘁𝗀 is very far behind the curve, even after the shutdown here. He's only on 170 CS at 21 minutes. Not what you want to see from a mid laner. It's not abysmal, but it's not enough, especially when the mid lane is the main carry in the late game team fights. So I want to see them funnel gold into their arena, bring her to 2 items to 3 items for the big fights, or just pick 𝘂𝑚, I suppose. 𝘂𝑚 forced to flash away as every day.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah. No. I accidentally. I misclicked on my taskbar and just launched Legends of Runeterra. So.
Misclick.
I can't quite see right now.
Okay.
I'm not trying to play a card game in the middle of a cast. Come on. I'm not that bad. I'm just
Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
I can't.
It was turning. Flash just won a huge fight. And what just happened? I am not quite sure, but we reset in time and we are on the Baron right now, 22 minutes in. SBTC, DR1 is trying to go for the flank. The Baron going down pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Heejin.
4K health. Celebrity
decide
firing
everything.
the shots in. 𝘁elle getting over. Oh my god, he steals it! How does this man do it? He takes the Baron, he crushes the dreams! They get 1 kill back, but it doesn't matter! The smite is good! Every goddamn time!
Oh, I don't think he even smited that. I think he got that with the barrel. Oh no, it's disaster. This was such a huge opportunity for Flash to equalize the game state, to actually get back to set up for a late game teamfight skating. But instead, they lose everything. They lose the bot inhibitor. This Baron should lead to another inhibitor. Maybe not. DR1 died, so that it's kind of hard for them to pressure immediately. A very good split pushing from 𝘂ci securing the bot inhibitor, and we are back to an even bigger goal disadvantage. We're actually now looking at almost 10k. 9k, I should say. Yoshino needs items and he needs levels, but he's so far behind he can't even enter lane into 𝘂ci, so he always needs some backup. Hits level 14, so that should be the 𝘀𝗀𝗀 sacrifice. Let's first take a look at this steal. Heejin, ult. It was no smite, it was just an ult. Oh, well, there was no smite for Olaf. Olaf had no smite. Oh man, no. Don't go for that if you don't have smite. I actually think, looking back
That's
at that,
a huge
if you
throw.
don't have smite, don't ever go for that. Because you're not that desperate. I mean, it kind of feels desperate, but just take a step back. You just got big shutdowns. You have a very nicely scaling composition.
He did smite. He smited for health.
Oh, early
Early.
on? Oh,
Yep,
okay.
He smited early. It was just bad.
Oh, that's really bad.
That's really terrible. That's awful. And you deserve to get thrown. Thrown? Wow. You deserve to get owned if that happens. You deserve to have it stolen. That's just not good enough from 𝘂ci. It's a huge mistake. Funnily enough, once he gets his Ornn upgrade, his item will be what he's doing to Flash. Because do you know what the Stridebreaker upgrade is?
I have no idea, no.
Because it's Dream Shatter, because he's shattering Flash's dreams.
Oh, very cool name, by the way.
It is a very cool name.
Why? I don't really see the connection between a Stridebreaker and Dream Shatter.
I like to think it's because if someone was going to the Olympics and you smashed their kneecaps, you would shatter their dreams.
Okay.
I have a story about that. I'll tell you after the game. As the siege comes in, SBTC with the Baron buff, firing on down. Flash has not managed to take a tower. It is 9,000 gold in the lead. That Baron, that fight, that should have been the turning point. The worm should have turned. But the worm went to the chickens.
And it might just be another one of those SPTC series, like the one against BTS in the first round, where everyone comes away from the series saying, well, they kind of didn't deserve this, but I guess they get the victory. And in the end, only the very first number on the scoreboard counts. That is the serious score. Game score, I guess, comes into play later on if you're tight. If anything like that happens, but the serious count is so much more important. And especially looking across other top teams, Cerberus tomorrow playing against SGB. Trying to get to 6 wins as well. SGB is already sitting at 6 wins, and then Team Secret actually really hoping for a Flash victory here, because they are 1 series behind, and they have to face 𝘀𝗀𝗀 tomorrow. So after this week, Team Secret could end up in 4 and 5, while SPTC, Cerberus, and SGB could all sit on 6 and 3. That is a devastating prospect, especially with some of the head-to-heads. It's a very important. It's a very, very important one.
Actually, I think he was just buying an item. My mistake, sorry. Got my animations mixed up.
Yeah, he's still level 14.
He's only level
Needs
14.
some more time.
I got confused.
Yeah. We have 2 on items, so 𝘀𝗀𝗀 Sacrifice and Frostfire something?
Frostfire
Crest, right. Are now completed, which it's 2k extra gold in terms of stats, which is definitely not enough to get to an even state still, but with every on item coming in, gets closer and closer, and Orianna gets closer and closer to the point where she can threaten the one-shot, can threaten Syndra and Celebrity in the back line. Not sure what Xerath is doing, just jumping around, having a little bit of fun. They really need to isolate the waste for Yoshino so he can collect some solo experience. They need the on items.
Yeah, they really, really do. If the game goes long enough, Flash could still come back somehow. I can't believe I'm saying that. But Orianna in the late game, 𝘁cie in the late game, no joke. SBTC need to close this one out.
Yoshino hitting 15, so third on item. Maybe with the Dream Shatter. Maybe the Liandry's Anguish is the first one or the second one? I can't remember. The Liandry's update could come in.
Certainly could. It's Liandry's Lament.
Lament is the upgrade. Anguish is the normal one. Yeah.
Correct.
Right. That's how it goes.
Has just come in. It's actually a cool name. A lot of the on names are really cool with the new mythics, but Flash
CCG.
are doing a good job. It's actually really cool when you look up what it means. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I know you know. I know you know. I'm just telling the audience. As they are managing to hold their base. One inhib exposed, but it's not the one that's in threat at the moment. Dragons, not an immediate concern.
The
for
turret?
Flash either.
Ooh, the
this is an
turret.
They do get a turret. I don't know if this is worth it though. This was a weird. I don't know. What was this decision?
They got played by SPTC because they had no vision whatsoever in topside jungle. And now Olaf.
Oh, Slay. He goes for a ride by himself as the Olaf ult does
Olaf
make
is-
set let you go. As he's on the run, Yoshino has the ram to redirect, gets 2 knockups, but it's just going to be a disengage. 𝘁elle on the side, threatening to come in, but doesn't pull a trigger.
Yeah, now there was no Mega Gnar, so they actually averted the big danger there. And Inhibitor didn't go down, so in the end, Flash, they lose an Inhibitor turret, but honestly, that's paper anyway, so getting a little bit of extra gold in your pockets for the outer turret. Oh no, the Baron is going down very quickly though.
Yeah, it is melting, but Meliodas is here and he has Flash. Can you redeem yourself, son? You've got a revenge, and he does it! Oh my god! Junglers are not securing Baron! Yoshino's gonna die on the top side, but 4 Baron buffs make it out. What is going on? Why can't VCS junglers win Smite Fights? This is hilarious. Meliodas has to try and get out. They want revenge. They know the man
Well, he
that
needs to
stole their
live.
stuff. He doesn't get away. That's a bit of a disaster. Slay goes low. Dia 1 floating on the side. Full health. The Baron might have gone to Flash, but the game could be about to go to SBTC.
Indeed.
The poisoned
30
chalice.
20 seconds on Yoshino. I don't think it's enough, but it should be 2 inhibitors for SPTC. So in the end, Baron, nice induction of gold, but in the end they lose so much map pressure. And the enemy team should be able to collect the dragon afterwards too, going to Soul Point. So it buys a little bit of time for Flash. It's an heroic effort from Meliodas specifically. It might just be a little too late.
Zeros getting chunked. 𝘁elle playing
They
very
spent a
far
lot of
forward.
HP. Flash should sprint at the dragon. They should try to contest this dragon. They still have the extra stats from Baron, and the enemy team didn't reset. So
Yeah.
this is the best opportunity they can get to secure the dragon. Moving a little bit too slowly, in my opinion. Meliodas trying to use the home guard buff. There's
They
not
can't get
a lot
there
of
much
damage.
faster, unfortunately, as they are running over there. They've got the shoes on. Dragon.
Good decision from Flash. They need to secure this one. Meliodas needs to be clutched once again.
Yep, but Yijin is here. They can't deny him getting over the wall. Oh, but he throws the barrel too early.
Ooh.
And it's Flash with the third.
That's huge.
Take a
That's
deep
so
breath.
massive. This is now 2 inhibitors with experience, with gold, constantly streaming into the base of Flash while there's no objective on the map. So there's nothing for SPTC to do. Flash has Baron buffs, so whenever they want to shove, they can easily shuffle the waves to defend, for example, the bot lane inhibitor. So this is now free time for Flash to get as much experience as they want. Parker hit level 16. He's on 2.5 items. Should try to get to 3 items for the next fight. They can even sack the next dragon because they are on Soul Point. Or maybe they get a Miracle team fight again and even get to Ocean Soul. Suddenly, the game seems winnable for Flash. There's still 8k gold down, but the 4th item just came in. The 4th
That is like 8k gold. It's 31 minutes, so gold leads mean less and less, and Ornn items keep coming in. This is getting worrying.
Yeah,
Like,
and on.
If Flash wins this, I might have a heart attack.
We talked about the individual on tankiness scaling, and it's finally coming in. He's way weaker on 2 items, but on 3 items, when he has given out 4 items to his team, suddenly he's a very tanky boy once again. He's still super slow, super sluggish in team fights, so it's just a punching bag like a Scion, but this might just be good enough. Baron has abated. There's no extra stats to work with.
The thing is, Tristana, unlike some other ADCs, Tristana doesn't have too many ways to work around the meatballs. She kind of just has to chunk through them. She's not a 𝘁cie that can dive past them and the like. Zeros caught out, he goes low. The Yoshino ult coming in, Slay gets knocked up, they get the double. But they can't convert onto the kills. They just chase them out for now. The wave clear continues.
Now Mega Gnar is stacking up. DR1 pretty low. But they lost the huge engage tools. Meliodas without his ult. I like that Meliodas is sent to defend the turrets.
Cleansed out. There's the Slay ultimate going in. The set is going low, but he gets a big shield. Will he be the first one to fall? Parquet taking so much damage from the 𝘁cie. Divkid picking up at one damage. Celebrity trying to kite back. Yijin getting chunked, but look at Celebrity firing over the wall. He flashes forward. DR1 gets another. The Buster shot busts them apart. He goes into Guardian Angel, but it doesn't matter. They get 3 kills. This should finally be the end. What a game of day. Oh, what did I just say? What a day of games. I've lost the plot, Yulwei. It has been an absolute cracker of a day. This is the VCS. This is why we watch this league. It's entertaining. It's action-packed. It's fun. And it's peak League of Legends. And it comes from Vietnam.
34 minutes on the clock, and SBTC finally find the engage. It looked really dire there. I thought they had really botched the engage. But it turns out the 2 carries with very clutch stuns. I think DR1 hard carried the last fight there on the Syndra, something we don't get to see too often. We criticize this champion over and over again, but in the hands of DR1, it can still carry everything. What a series, what a game, and SBTC moved to 2nd place, behind SGB for now, but on 6-3.
We're not going to do too much of a long outro. We will just very quickly check in with our good friend Marby.
It's 3 a.m.
It's 3 a.m. Yeah, we do want to head off. But Marby, give us one little comment and then I'll say goodnight.
So, I mean, despite the heroics that Flash were trying to put out towards the end there, their composition was kind of falling short due to their range. The Syndra and the Tristana are able to affect the backline much more effectively than, say, the 𝘁cie and the Orianna. And that really meant that despite everything, SBTC were coming up trumps on most of these team fights, and that in the end got us to the SBTC victory.
That they did, and with that we will bid you a good night. I hope you enjoyed this day of games. Why do I keep trying to say game of days? Day of games. It was fun. It wasn't necessarily the cleanest, but I think it was enjoyable. We hope you did enjoy the show. If you did, please let us know in chat. It makes us feel better about ourselves. You can also support the stream. There's going to be some links in chat you can click on to help the stream continue. There are also social media links down below. Click on them. Facebook, Discord, Twitter, all that good stuff. Get all the VCS information and follow all the VCS action throughout the entire VCS English umbrella.
Don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow will be even more insane. We have such good matchups tomorrow. The big teams are going to take stage. SGB, GAM, you don't want to miss that.
No, you do not. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.